Oh man, Eric White, you ready for this, dude?
I'm always ready.
It's the Aussie Invasion tonight, bro.
And no, that's going to be fun, isn't it?
It's going to be awesome. Those guys are already, man, they just cracked Red Bulls as we put them backstage. So should be a good time because, about 30 minutes from now, we're going to bring them on and they'll be ramped up. So, guys, welcome to episode 160 of the Drag Drive Repeat Show presented by Summit Racing. Like I just said, it's the Aussie Invasion. We've got Adam Rogash on here, the quickest drag and drive racer in Australia, and the All Stars Drag and Drive event team. This is going to be kind of fun. We've had Australians on before, but not guys this fast and not guys hosting events this big. I think we've had Mick on before from the Road Trip Drag Challenge, but that was early on in his days of hosting that stuff. So it's going to be kind of fun to see what the sport's done in Australia in the last 3 years. I think is the last time we had somebody on from over there, right?
Probably about right there.
Yeah, probably somewhere there. And we have updates from Havlik's, Heads Up Hustle, and more drag and drive news and entertainment. It's going to blow your mind. Mr. Eric, hit the intro, sir.
All right, let's go.
All right, guys. Well, like I said, welcome to episode 160, the Australian Invasion, here tonight on the Drag Drive Repeat Show presented by Summit Racing. I'm Mike Narks. I'm your host of this show and the news that happens most Saturdays. Eric and I are trying to figure out when we're going to do the Saturday show, if there's going to be one, because track goes hot at 9 a.m., which is right when we would be doing the show this weekend at Heads Up Hustle. Mr. Eric White, tell them what you got going on.
I am Eric White, co-host of the show and news, and I got to do something cool this weekend. Typically, I do photographs for Drag and Drive. Got to do something a little different, so we'll talk about that here shortly, but that was a ton of fun.
Oh, man, I can't wait to see the photos, and I've been kind of sneak peeking through them there on Facebook. You've been posting them on your page, so it's been kind of awesome. Man, I'll tell you what, though, I'm excited about this because I think tonight is going to bring some brand new race car friends in. People that are literally from where I sit on the opposite side of the world. Like if 100%. You could drill a hole right here, it would reach Australia. So kind of cool. I'm excited. Just guys, thank you so much for being here. Hit the share button as we jump into this show. It's going to be a fun one. Of course, we can't do all of this and the trips, the Heads Up Hustle, Havlik's, all that kind of cool stuff without our sponsor. So if you're doing some shopping, hit these guys up. Let them see what, see what they got. We've talked about a lot of these. Well, I'll just get to it. Summit Racing, you're awesome. Thank you. Full list of Drag Drive Repeat recommended products page. We're going to drop that here in just a little bit. Deechworks, of course, the official fuel delivery of Drag Drive Repeat. Molly Motorsports, best pistons in the game. Driven Racing Oil. If you like to keep your stuff going in rotational circles, you got to have Driven in every part of that motor. And transmission and rear end, and keep it clean with Speed Wax. Howard's Cams, of course, Valve Train. J-Wire Solutions, he can wire and plumb your hot rod, but also has a ton of really cool products. AFCO Racing products, which is suspension, cooling, brakes, all the kind of stuff there. Performer Built Transmissions, best GM transmission builder in the game. I mean, they put a 4L60 in the 7s. I don't think I have to say anything else about that. Car Change 3D, of course, our 3D printed products here. Man, just badass dude. And of course, Low Dollar Motorsports, all kinds of sensors and everything you could possibly imagine to keep your car going as fast as it should. So, Mr. Eric White, I'm going to let Brian Lone tell everybody about some Summit Racing stuff, and then we're going to talk about what's coming up with them and us.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, road course, trail, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because Built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance. Priced to make your project affordable. And it's all backed by trusted tech expertise and blazing fast shipping. Summit Racing Equipment. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
Dude, I know I talked about this on Saturday's show, and we're going to talk about it right now, but I'm really excited about next week's episode.
Me
Two reasons.
too.
One, Paul Sokolos, we don't really get to interview many other podcasters. There's not really just a ton of them in the automotive scene that are also relevant to us. There's a lot of like NASCAR guys and NHRA guys and things like that, but Paul is kind of a do-it-all type dude, which is really neat.
Yeah, that's going to be a ton of fun to listen to some of his stories and learn a little bit more about how he got where he is and all that.
Well, and the on all cylinder stuff, we mention that probably 3 times a month, talking about what's going on over there and all that kind of stuff. And they just posted an article today that I didn't have a chance to read it, but it was about the quiet collector cars that are coming up. And it's that 1995 to 2005 GM product stuff. Man, those guys are talking my language.
Isn't that weird to think about being considered classics?
Dude, in 1995, let me tell you this story. On the Oil and Whiskey podcast, they were talking about this the other night. Okay. If you are a senior in high school right now, a classic car, okay, as a junior in high school, I drove a truck that was 30 years old. Okay. If you are a junior in high school right now, driving a truck that's 30 years old, it's a 1996, bro.
Right. I drive an 07 right now.
Oh man, blows my mind. So yeah, it's going to be awesome to talk with that conversation through him and kind of how they're, putting all that together and how they do all of that. Plus we have the Havliks on, which is going to be so freaking awesome. Those guys are so busy. We are literally how many days away from the fastest street car shootout?
1 second. We
15,
are 16 days away.
Golly, dude, that's so insane. So they're going to be on. I'm really excited about that. It's going to be a freaking blast, and it's going to be awesome. So I can't wait for that episode next week. We don't want to talk about future stuff too much, but man, that's going to be a good one. And then, did you see our boy Justin Wiedemann? The video they posted today or yesterday is the 5 things worth the money for your toolbox.
I did it. This? I did not see this one.
Bro, listen to this list. It's five items. Power ratchet. Love that. Don't have one in my toolbox that I carry with me, drag and drive stuff. Don't even have one in my big toolbox. Digital torque wrench, genius.
Don't own one of those.
Pack, of course. Yeah, right. I don't even own a digital torque wrench. I don't even know if I have a regular torque wrench, to be honest. I'm like, yeah, tight. Drill bits, which I thought was a really good idea. And my dumbass always just goes right to the step bit.
Right.
Like, that bolt ain't working. Wow, one more. It's gonna work. I'm telling you.
Why carry a whole set when you can carry 3?
Yeah, dude. And for $12, this thing's probably gonna not last a real long time, but it'd get you off the side of the road. That one on the far right would have saved me a ton of time on the side of the road when the old truck lost the wheel.
And I do want to say the one before this, I cut you off a little bit, but the jump start pack.
Yeah.
Today, you can get something that will jumpstart your car that's the size of your phone and you can keep in your glove box.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you remember the old ones I'm thinking about. Like, when I was a teenager, dude, it was a briefcase that you had to carry around.
Yeah, with a big handle and, the jump packs now are awesome.
Yeah. There's no reason not to have one in pretty much every vehicle you own.
Yeah. Have you noticed all of the NOCO advertising lately on all the automotive podcasts and YouTube videos and all this stuff? Man, those guys have spent a ton of money marketing. So may need to look into one of those, but they're everywhere. Anyways, and then the last piece, a bi-directional scan tool, which I don't even know what the hell that is, dude. I'm sure some OBD2 reader, I guess. But
I mean, that was my thought, but I don't know what bi-directional would mean.
Yeah, I don't know. So thought that was a pretty cool list. Obviously the drill bits are a big thing in my world because we're going to tear some shit up. And typically I'm on the side of the road trying to fix it. And need a drill bit of some kind. So, anyways,
Yep.
if you guys are looking for stuff, those 5 will be on our Drag Drive Repeats recommended products list on the Summit Racing page. You can literally just type in Drag Drive Repeat on there. You can also find the shirts, hats, hoodies. It's got baseball caps, all that kind of stuff, like Eric was wearing a little bit ago. So, yeah, Richard Brewer, I swear by NOCO. Yeah, pretty cool. So, anyways, that's next week for the show, and then some Summit updates from there. Drag Drive Repeat updates. This is more geared towards Eric. After we talk about the short circuit being sold out, bro, finally
Sold out.
It took like an extra day and a half, but I'm telling you, that stressed your boy out.
Yeah, but you know what? No offense to those that didn't get signed up. You had a chance. This is going to be a party. If you missed it, you missed it.
Yeah, this may be the only event that I absolutely don't let somebody show up day of, just because you had an opportunity. We've talked about it for months. This is going to be an event of the year, and we're working on. I should have Host Hotels locked in tomorrow, waiting on a link back from one of them, and then we should have the Cotton Gin locked in, which will let me finish the route that I want to run, depending on which Cotton Gin we end up at. So that would be really cool. And if we end up with the one, I hope you guys are going to get to go to my hometown.
Okay.
Take you right down the street that I used to cruise in high school. So maybe we can help resurface that son of a bitch. You know? So, all right, man, tell us what's going on with you.
Well, like I said, got to do something a little different. I'm not the smartest person. I took 8,700 photos, I think it was, at Six Summer, and still don't have those done, but decided to hit up this event. So last minute, quick story here. My kid and I were going to a podcast this past weekend, Saturday night. We had it planned for a while. I think it was Thursday night. One of my coworkers had sent me this link for this event called Fuel Fest. No clue what it was. I looked at it and I was like, oh, that looks kind of cool. You know, didn't put anything together. And then I was like, wait a minute. That is also on Saturday, and it's from 1 to 8. And the podcast we're going to was started at 8. So I'm like, we could realistically make that work. So we ended up going. It was super cool. I know a lot of people probably aren't into drifting, but
I don't know anybody that does car stuff that's not into drifting.
I've not photographed drifting before, so this was a ton of fun. I ended up with another 1,300 photos from this event, so that puts me at like 10,000 photos that I need to go through. And by the way, Havlik's is in 16 days, which is going to be more photos. So
yeah,
I'm really putting myself in the same position I was last year. But this was a ton of fun. Drifting, car show, concert, all in one venue. It was packed. It was put on by Tyrese and Cody Walker, Paul Walker's brother, from Fast and the Furious. So all proceeds went to Paul Walker's foundation, Reach Out Worldwide, which was super cool. And honestly, I didn't notice it until I was going through the photos. That lower left photo there, that is Tyrese in the white shirt and hat. Didn't even realize he was standing there when I took that photo.
That's awesome, dude.
So it was a ton of fun. Been tagging these guys left and right. You know, obviously not people that typically follow me, but had a bunch of cool interactions with all these guys. Some of them saw videos I posted on YouTube, and I sent them over to Facebook, said, look, I got tons of photos. So it's been really cool. And, you know, I love water photos. So it rains. So you see that upper right photo there with the reflection. It, like I said, it was just a ton of fun. It was a lot more challenging to try to capture these photos because obviously there's smoke everywhere. So you kind of got to time your photos right between the smoke as cars are coming around. Anyways, ton of fun. Glad we went. It was super cool.
Yeah, Richard Brewer says Fuel Fest is a goal event for him. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and it's never been to Chicago. So that was kind of what pushed me to go, because this was the first time they've ever been to Chicago. It's a traveling event, you know, typically LA and over in the UK, it's going to be going on here fairly soon. I want to say maybe this weekend or next weekend. Yeah, so super cool. Fun time. That's
awesome, dude. And then what's your other thing here?
So next up here, so that was Saturday. So Sunday, I got I slept in a little bit because we didn't get home till like midnight from Chicago, but got up and Dan came over and helped me get a rotating assembly. And to be honest, if he didn't come over and help me with these dang circlips, I probably would still be out there trying to put those dang things in. I don't know if anybody's put circlips in pistons before. I couldn't do it. Like, I watched him and he got it, and then I was like, all right, let me try. And then I was like, nope, let me watch you again. And he'd put another one in, and I'd try, and I'm like, nope, I don't know. The Molly tool, the plastic tool that helps push them in, works great. I see why you're only going to get one set of pistons out of that tool. That plastic was tore up by the time we were done. But we got all the connecting rods put on the pistons, all the pistons in the engine. So the Fox body motor is now a rotating assembly. The Howard's cam's in there. The Molly pistons are in there, all assembled with the Driven Racing Oil assembly lube. Super excited. The one thing that kept us from going any farther was I didn't have the timing chain cover gasket, because when I pulled it off, it was pretty tore up. So going to order a new one of those. But then, like, from here on out, it should go back together pretty quick. Also did get the Howard's cams lifters put in, brand new lifters as well. I ordered from them.
Dang, brand new lifters, bro. Not like some junkyard LS7s or anything. That's exciting.
Nope, brand new lifters. I didn't want to take a chance on everything. We took it apart, we cleaned it, everything's good. Let's put it back together the right way. So
yeah, I mean, while you're in there.
It's killed me, to be honest. Like, this thing would have been done a long time ago, but I think it's going to be much better now that we've replaced all these things. So super excited. I would say that we should have it put back together here. I know I've got some things going on here in the next few weeks, but hopefully either just before Havlik's or after Havlik's, it'll be fully assembled and we can get ready to drop it back in. Hell
yeah, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, it would be a month before I'd even look at that thing again. And we just have so much coming up.
It's the struggle is I got 10,000 photos, but I also got an engine to put together. Like, trying to dedicate your time is difficult.
Yeah, that's part of the struggle we have doing this. 3 hours a week we're live. We're doing research for another 3 or 4, and then you've got 10,000 photos to go through.
Yeah. But at the same time, I got a Howard's cam and Molly Power Pack piston sitting in the garage to go together. So you got to include that too.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to put that thing together, man. It's going to be so awesome. Can't wait. And again, guys, we're doing this. This is Drag and Drive built. That's where this thing came from. It was originally just going to be a drag only car. And now, of course, with Eric's passion for this community, we're building this thing to do some drag and drives. And I keep trying to let's debut that thing at the circuit 2027.
Let's see.
Surely we can get some testing in before then.
I'm sure.
I don't know.
I'm sure we could.
It's probably out of the question, but maybe the circuit.
Yeah. We'll see what we can do.
That's exactly right. Well, I don't think I put any notes in here, but I did want to talk about Heads Up Hustle because I leave in the morning, and that's my update for this week. Dragway 42 on Friday and Sunday, Milan on Saturday. If you guys are anywhere near that, please come over and hang out. What I love about this event, parties both Friday and Saturday night. It's going to be awesome. Let me run through some of these racers. You ready for this? The Deal Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Karchik, Polly Castiglione. I can't wait to hang out with that dude. Last time I got to see him was last year at Heads Up Hustle. The Grabiacs, all the Grabiacs are coming. We've got all them going to be down. Peter Sisler and Rex French going to duke it out in stick shift. Peter definitely has the car to beat, I think, in that class. This 850 deal, I've been making announcer notes, bro. TJ Linebaugh and Jeremy Ortiz are both on site for this one. This ought to be pretty wild. I'm really pumped about that race. I think that's going to be a really, really good one.
Yeah, both winners of events this year already.
Yeah, for sure. 10-0 Index, Josh Burt, and then Tim Grabiak is racing in 10-0 Index, so that should be really fun. And then 13-0 Index is going to be, I'm telling you right now, the class to watch. There are 4 people in that class that could win that at any moment. And the cool thing about Heads Up Hustle is you do 2 days to set your standings. Okay. So that your average of your 2 days sets your, ladder, I guess the way to word that. And then from there you run till it's heads up. And that's what got John last year. He actually was second going into Sunday in spots, but end up taking the win over Sharon. So Sharon's a previous winner, Sharon Bogardus, John Pranger, last year's winner. This should be the class. I'm telling you, there's like another 4 people in behind that can take this class win and run 13 O's on at the drop of a hat. So it should be pretty fun.
Oh yeah.
And then Tommy Dupree says he's going to make an appearance at some point.
Oh,
Bring it on, bro. I think he should come over Friday and just bring his car.
why
And
not?
then stay, All right, man. Tell us about some driven stuff.
All right, let's hit this ad read and get into it.
Hey, it's Brandon from Fort Smith, Arkansas here. Driven Racing Oil is a performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application. Whether launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or pushing the limits in top-fueled drag boats and demo derbies, winning racers choose GP1. Compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting-edge race machines, GP1's unique surface cleaning and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for flat tappet camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. Crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil and enhanced with state-of-the-art additive packages, GP1 offers the best in protection and performance.
And you can use code DDR10 for a 10% discount at drivenracingoil.com. You can get yourself some engine assembly lube like I use. You can pick up some oil for the season, speed wax, degreaser, anything like that. DDR10, 10% discount on drivenracingoil.com. And first up here, we kind of already talked about it, but Short Circuit is sold out. 100 spots are gone. And again, if you missed out on this, George Ray's Wildcat drag strip is going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah, I'm ready. I can't wait. I'm already sorry. If the Cotton Gin works out, there's a spot where we're going to get to drive through an Arkansas, Missouri state line, old school arch that was built like in the early 1920s.
Oh, super cool.
Yeah. All right, sorry. There you go.
And then Route 66 Roundup. So it looks like you've got some stuff set up for us. Crossroads Diner is ready for us for breakfast at 7 a.m. on Sunday morning, October 18th. The first $250 of breakfast is sponsored by Deechworks. Super cool. Appreciate them. Super cool. Glad they did that for us. They've done it in the past. And again, can't thank them enough for doing that. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, this is our last single day event for the year, and I'm telling you, that's going to be something new for us. We're doing at least 3 next year, and we're taking it on the road, is all I'm telling you.
I dig it. Martin Kilroy says, I'm ready.
Oh, yeah, bring it on, Martin. I can't wait, dude.
All right, so looking at our events remaining for the month of July, Pistons in the Pines starts tomorrow. So we've heard some people going there. Rich Woodward sent us a message saying he was loaded up, getting ready to go. Super cool. But the promoter, Brian, said doing early registrations today. Racing starts tomorrow, 10 a.m. We've been blessed with a beautiful weather forecast. The majority of people competing are doing their first Drag and Drive. So we're very excited to be introducing Drag and Drive to a bunch of people. With this being the first time we're hosting one of these, it'll be a learning experience for all of us.
Yeah, and I just hope, man, everybody be patient. Promoters and racers.
Yeah. Yep. Super cool. So that starts tomorrow. Heads Up Hustle, like we just talked about, starts in 2 days on July 24th, goes through the 26th. Drop the Hammer Judgment Day, our single day event, starts July 25th, 3 days away. And then rounding out this month, we have Miles of Mayhem, July 26th through 31st, which is 4 days away.
God, that's crazy.
Yeah, 4 days in July will be wrapped up, which puts us into August. And again, starting out the month of August, Havlik's fastest streetcar shootout reunion race, August 6th through 8th. Again, only 16 days away. Crazy.
That's wild. Bring it on, dude. I cannot wait. We got an update on that in the J-Wire segment.
Yep. Olympic Streetcar Shootout, the 7th through 9th. That is 17 days away. Sick Michigan Miles, August 16th through 22nd. That is only 25 days away. And the route drop today.
Oh yeah, come on.
And then we've got Dragway Rush, August 19th through 22nd, 28 days away. And rounding out August, we have Cruise and Lose, the 21st through 23rd, which is 30 days away.
Oh man, that
So
seems so weird.
I don't have artwork yet, but I just wanted to run through these names or titles of these events we have left for the rest of the year. So September, we've got Drop the Hammer, North Carolina. We've got Hot Rod Drag Week, Redwood Rally, Central Victorian Drag and Drive, and Sick 66, all happening in September.
That's crazy.
Then we go into October. We've got the Weekend Warrior Race and Relax. We've got Rocky Mountain Race Week 2.0, Southeast Street and Yeet, our Route 66 Roundup, the Wild West Dragon Dash, and Street Machine Drag Challenge.
That seems so weird.
It's not slowing down at all.
No.
And then obviously November, we've got our short circuit, and there was one other event.
I don't know. Yeah, we can look it up.
Yeah, there was 2 events going on in November, but that puts us at 52 events for the year. Again, another crazy year. You can find all of those at dragdriverepeat.com/events. That'll take you to the interactive map where you can see the starting location for all of these events.
Yeah, it's crazy the way that thing is broken out. And I was actually using it the other day. One of the guys that lives up by you was asking if there were any other events close, and I jumped over there and sent him a screenshot of the, hey, these are the ones that are near you. So
yeah,
pretty awesome.
Sweet. And again, don't forget to use that code DDR10 for a 10% discount at drivenracingoil.com.
All right, let's talk about some J-Wire stuff. And let's see, I'll hit the play button here, and then we will move into some Havlik's updates.
What's up, guys? My name is Cole from Fort Worth, Texas. Expert car and marine wiring solutions that you can trust. J-Wire Solutions can wire and plumb your hot rod, your race car, hell, even your drag and drive car. Plus, they offer products to make your driving experience way better, like their blinker module that is just a must for all drag and drive cars. This module will allow your rear turn signals to continue to function while the brake pedal is applied, just like stock. Find all the details at jwiresolutions.com.
And I want to start this out with a big shout out to Derek Putnam, who called me today it was going to be a 5-minute call. It was 45 minutes. We talked about all kinds of stuff, but he did break the news to me earlier that Jeremy Howell's Flat Fox has been sold as a roller. How crazy is that? Yeah. The fastest stick shift car in drag and drive has been sold.
I had not heard that.
Yeah, so he said something popped up earlier, made him reach out to Jeremy and see what was going on, and said, yeah, it's sold, and the powertrain is all sold.
So, any plan on building something else, or is he just done?
Said he didn't get into that. Said he just has some other stuff he wants to focus on for a little bit. Probably not ever going away from drag and drive, but just the struggle with that car is he was kind of ET limited with the cage build from there and would have had to completely gut it. So maybe he's going to build something new and fresh, Is this going to be the next evolution of stick shift drag and drive,
Yeah, definitely be
pick up a pro stock car and go after it.
Some we'll have to keep an eye on for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So let's run through some of this stuff. So I messaged Brian and Jay earlier asking, hey, what's going on? Because, we got Judgment Day this weekend. They're going up for it. Sadly, won't get to hang out with them at Heads Up Hustle, but they at least are going up to drag and drive stuff. So he said they haven't really touched the car other than maintenance, just getting it ready. And obviously, since the circuit and doing so well at Six Summer, those guys just kicked ass, right? So, really didn't need much, just maybe a once over, which is what they did. What they've done. And then he said, hey man, after the show last time when we were on, we hinted at this huge announcement. He said, we're getting very, very close to being able to announce it. Now, this is something that's been working more than 2 years. They've been working on this. So go follow Fast Act Racing right now or J-Wire Solutions on Facebook or Instagram. Catch up with them because when this announcement drops, it's going to blow everybody's mind. And I don't even know what it is. So don't even come to me asking. I told them I wanted to find out when everybody else found out.
Yeah, I was going to say, we have no clue. This.
Yeah.
This is something they've been keeping from everybody, including us, but they keep hinting at it and just trying to hype us up a little bit, I guess. So, yeah, I'm excited too to see what they got going on.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be awesome. All right, let's talk about some Havlik stuff coming up. We have begun to drop the artwork that you did, so that is going to go out. This is the Drag and Drive shootout side of stuff for what we have coming up. Obviously, we're kind of helping run that side of stuff. We were verifying for the Havliks that people that were entering in that had actually done a national level Drag and Drive, which is part of the criteria there. But a few things ahead of that. Have you seen the updates from Annette Summers Racing?
I haven't. I seen your note in here, but I have not seen that.
Yeah, she's bringing a brand new car, so that ought to be kind of cool to see that thing go down. We talked about this the other day. Larson's bringing all 3 cars, and then Goldstone is bringing both cars. So that should be pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be super cool again to
Yeah.
see both of those in the same place.
Yeah. And then you have listed out here the Drag and Drive shootout racers. So I don't know if you want to hit a couple of them going through here. Well, I've only got 3 photos in the lineup here, but figured you can hit a few of the names there if you wanted to.
Yeah, we could probably run through the whole list real quick. It won't take a second, but
Yep.
we got Randy Fuller and his Mustang, Aaron, is it Krebe? And
Sure.
it is Monte Carlo. We got Joe Barry in the 56 Chevy. We got Steve Morris in the wagon, Kyle Morris in the Mustang, and Val Morris in the Camaro. We got Scott Miller in a Mustang. We've got Craig Grubner in the Nova. We got Glenn Hunter in his 56 Chevy. We got Goldstone again in both cars. Matt Frost in his Nova. Aaron Gerling in the Chevelle. William Patton in his Suburban. Rich Pedreza in the Mustang. Nick Cryer in his Coupe. Brian Keeling in a Chevelle. Jason Hurley in the Firebird. Audrey Beeler in the El Camino. Rob Leperick in his F-150. Brent Hergert, I don't have a car or vehicle listed for him. Larry Larson, going to be running the S10, but like you just said, 3 vehicles coming there. Tony Wiseman in the Dart, Tom McGilton in a Camaro, Joe Greer in his C10, Charles Sorensen in the Valiant, Will Fair in the 56 Chevy, Jerry Niesel in the Chevy 2, Clark Rosenstengel in his 5th Gen Camaro, and Sam Calalio in the black G-Body. That's a list.
That's a list. And the cool thing is they have a top 8, like big tire, top 8, small tire, and then everyone else runs heads up on there. So this should be really fun. I think the drive is like 50 miles or something like that. So it'll be a cakewalk for a lot of these folks that have done these before. I'll tell you, one of the ones I'm really excited about is Joe, because he's going to turn that C10 to the moon. And then, I'm trying to bring my C10 truck up, so maybe we can get some side-by-side grudge match in some testing. I mean, he would smoke my ass, but maybe he'll give me the hit and some length. I don't know. It'd be kind of fun.
Like an 8th mile?
I would need it for sure. Dude, going through that list of names there, I mean, holy shit. Like, Matt Frost just went to twin turbos on the car, so this will be the debut of those. At a big event like this, I think he's probably been racing the coupe at the Pueblo stuff. Will Patton, we hang out with him all the time in the Suburban. That'll be super cool to see there. I mean, there's some hitters, of course, Steve Morris, Kyle Morris, and Val Morris. Dude, bringing the whole family.
Right.
Bring it on. And of course, Joe Barry, we talked about this. This has probably been a month ago, maybe 2, that Joe's put an automatic in the car now. So that car is going to be very, very fast. And it should be a ton of fun. And of course, Larry Larson, dude. I mean, we're watching it and the Corvette from Goldstone. That's 2 cars that should be right up front. Will Fair was 3rd place overall at Hot Rod Drag Week 2025. So don't count him out. There's a lot of hitters coming in this event.
Yeah. And again, I say it each time, but it is truly one of my favorite events of the year. This one brings out such a cool array of cars that you just don't get to see at other events.
Yeah, I mean, it's over the top for sure. I cannot wait to see what they have going on. I mean, it should be I don't know. It's going to be badass.
Yep, for sure.
All right, sir. That's the updates there for the Havlik stuff that's coming up and J-Wire Solutions. So big shout out to Jay. Appreciate him and all the stuff he does for us here at the Drag Driver Pete brand. Plus, a lot of stuff. You need to order the tray for the top of the Holly intake cover there.
Yep, definitely
So
need to
make sure
get
we
on
get
that
that on.
too.
Yeah, we'll get that. And then you've got the heater block off, or it's not heater block off. What is it? Thermostat block
Yeah.
off, which would be a big deal because, we got to keep that thing cool.
100%.
Yep. Let's, the sport keeps going. And I think things like the Havlik's event will help that because it's going to provide a lot of coverage. You can watch it live on Bang Shift and it's going to have a ton of coverage from there, showing everybody at home kind of what is going on there. It's going to be awesome. All right, let's play this ad read from Molly and then bring in the Australians.
Looking for a forged piston kit for your vehicle? You need Molly Motorsport Power Pack. What is Power Pack? It's the ultimate forged piston kit that comes complete with pistons, performance file fit rings, hot string steel pins, and clips, all engineered to work together, so all you have to do is build something great. Find your Power Pack at mollymotorsport.com.
All right. Again, Molly is awesome. Molly Pistons and Eric's Mustang. Not just sponsors of the brand here and other drag and drive events, but also racers. Eric Grillo has that stick shift Nova on the side there, and George Wright has the 700 plus horsepower naturally aspirated Duster there on the left side of that picture there. So if you're looking for pistons, these are the guys to go talk to for sure. All righty. So how do we want to do this? We want to bring in Adam first, who's the quickest guy in drag and drive, or just bring them on all at the same time?
However you want to do it.
Let's bring them both in. We've got Adam there on your right side. I'm going to put these guys up top so we can see. And then Dan and Ellie on the left side there. Probably the easiest way to do this, guys, is just to introduce yourselves. We'll start with Dan, and you guys kind of run us through who you are. Obviously, you guys, tonight is about the All-Stars Drag and Drive event that happened over the last, what did it end, 4 days ago, 3 days ago? Something like that?
A week and a half ago, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Damn, man, time flies. So I'm glad you guys are doing this. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think this is like one of the fastest drag and drives in Australia. We know we have the fastest guy, but
sure.
like this is going to be a good recap. So we've basically given you guys 90 minutes. So we've got time to hang out and do some fun stuff. So tell us what's going on, who you are, what you did with the event, and then, of course, we'll talk about Adam's car and all that cool stuff.
Dally, yep.
No, you go first, mate. You're on the left.
I'm Dan. This is Dally. We're All Stars Drag and Drive. We just provided just an event for all the guys that wanted radial racing, fast prep tracks, and just having fun. That was the whole goal.
Yeah, I guess we've done all the other drag and drives in the country, and we took little bits from each one of them and made our own.
Yeah.
We wanted to more focus on the track prep and fast cars rather than just the social outings of hanging with your mates.
Yeah.
And it's really fun to see kind of it go from like that family fun, everybody come out, have a good time, to somebody really taking it seriously and, doing the radio prep for these guys like Adam to go down and just kick ass and go fast.
Yeah, it's been hard here over the years. Most of the drag and drives here, they prep in the morning. They don't really apply any more prep after that. So you sort of get one shot in the morning to have a go, and if they miss it, then you're chasing your tail all day. And then you're behind the 8 ball on the road, and it's just a snowball effect. We wanted to provide a track that they could run all day, anytime, and go fast.
Man, that's awesome.
That's what I think we achieved. And
that's so hard for people to understand too, because dude, radio prep's no joke, and it can go away relatively quickly. And for guys that did what Adam does, do what Adam did is it's got to be right. Because Adam, how many one and dones did you do during the week?
We didn't have one single aborted part. So literally 4 days in a row, every time we let go of that button, we went straight down Broadway in the time that we called before we even hopped in the driver's seat. We put a 670 tune up in. We went 670. I was laughing with Dully. I said, look, we're going to go 650s on the last day. We put a 57 tune up in it. We went 56. So every time we let go of that button, there was not a single aborted pass.
That's insane. Yeah. And hey, I'm sure you've been on some shitty stuff in the past, and that's not generally. Do you always run a radio when you race? Sorry, we're going to learn a lot tonight.
Look,
I'm going to be all
lucky
over the
enough to
place.
Come over and race in the States with some good guys over there and all that kind of stuff, and obviously get desensitized to what track prep is. TX2K with Brett Lasala and Jimmy Braun and the boys, some race meets with Steve Morris and stuff like that. And your track prep is next level. So we come back over here and we don't get it. Even on a really good day, we don't get what TX2K is or anything like that. But what the boys provided was great radial prep, and we could just let go of the button, go down, and know that we were going down it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, tell everybody just real quick about your car, what it is, and just a brief overview of the powertrain. Let's not get nerdy yet. We're going to do that in a minute.
Yeah, cool. So I've got a 1969 Ford Capri. It is Mark 1. We call it the Mac 1 because it's fast, and that kind of annoys all of the purists. It's a twin turbo big block deal, 2-speed turbo 400 and 9.5 inch or 9 inch pro gear diff.
Wow, damn. One of the only cars in the sixes this year at the event, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, coming down to track prep like we were talking about before, there's only ever been one 6-second pass in an Australian drag and drive before, which was a 697 from memory.
Yeah.
Oh, Marky. Yeah.
Mark Whitler.
Mark Whitler did that.
I mean, it's hard over here with our road rules to try and have vehicles like you guys have in pro mods on the street.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't fly over here. So everything needs to be a Vintag car. Our rules are so stringent that it's hard.
And like when you say Vintag, it had to start life as a regular car.
As a car, correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then everything has to be engineered.
Anyway, that's right.
Has to be signed off on.
Yeah.
Everything has to go through the Transport Authority and make sure it's right. And if we don't pass through transport, we've got tall poppy syndrome over here, which means anybody who's looking at you is going to dob in your rego. He's going to carry on that the car's not a street car. He's going to try and take you down because you're faster than the rest of the crew. So we've got all that to deal with, where we come over to you guys and you're just happy for the guy next to you. And anyone going fast is doing the right thing.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. So we need to adopt that over here, where we're just happy for the guy next to us. And that's the thing I love about racing in the States.
Oh, that's interesting. So even your competitors are trying to like maybe turn you in to somebody.
Oh, look, it's only the 1% of people. 99%.
It's not all the time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Everybody else is probably trying to dodge that bullet too from somebody driving down the road in a regular car as you come by with a fender exit exhaust.
Yeah.
He's got 2 giant mufflers on, so it is pretty quiet.
Yeah, 2 big spinny mufflers.
94 mil.
Yeah. Turbos are mufflers. They count. I've written those rules before.
Yeah, what's the old saying? There's 2 types of cars that are turboed and cars that should be.
That's exactly right.
I like that.
Well, tell us how this event came about.
Yeah, so I guess back when we were saying before that Dan and I have done multiple drag challenges together, and also do it with another couple of mates in the Salika, and yeah, we love it. We thrive for it. There was nothing like that in Queensland, so we had, obviously everybody has to travel down south, and Street Machine Drag Challenge is a fantastic event, but it's a week long. So to do it as a business owner, you've got to have pretty much 2 weeks off by the time you prepare, travel down, you do the event, you travel back, you unpack. So we're like, there's enough hype up here for it. Let's see what we can do. The first event, I think we had 120 entrants, and we ran that. And it was, we went out to do what we did, and we did what we did. And then the second event, when we released the dates for that, and we hit the go button on the tickets, we sold out in under 2 hours at 200 entrants. Yeah. So, and then there was a wait list. Yeah. People, obviously drag and drive is one of those things where people drop in, drop out, drop in, drop out. By the event, the wait list was empty. Everyone was locked and loaded, and away we went.
That's awesome.
But as we said, we wanted something different. We focused. We keep saying it's for the races, by the races. We wanted to take everything we've learned everywhere else and put it together into an event that works. So track prep, there's still decent drives, good weather. Obviously, we did ours in winter. So the first year it was -5 Celsius in Warwick, So whatever that works out for you guys, pretty much snow.
Yeah, cold as shit, probably.
Yeah. This year, obviously, it wasn't quite as cold, but yeah, the weather was good.
Yeah.
We always joke that everybody PBs at Willowbank, and then we drive up the hill to where it's 2,000 feet above, and they PB up there as well.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome.
So
when you say winter, I mean like it's in the Eric. We're going to figure out what that is. What is -5 Celsius?
We can get everybody American in a converter for us, whatever he is.
Dude, that's like 23 degrees. Holy shit, that's cold. How do you keep the track ready at that point?
Yeah, so we had a bit of a I guess strategy last year where we ran everything from the 1150 class first.
1150 class, yeah.
We tried to get some tyres on the track. Matty in Warwick, like he's fantastic at what he does, and those guys for a little rural track, they hook in. Yeah. They don't get beaten. You know, if something's not right, they'll stop and they'll re-prep. And
we're lucky because we're from Queensland. Sort of by 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, it's sort of 10, 15, 20 degrees here. So as long as you ride the morning session out, then it gets better. So
these guys have mid-20 degrees Celsius all winter. They call it winter, and they're sitting here in jumpers at the moment. We're like 10 degrees Celsius down here during the day.
I said before, the turbo you can live here.
But you guys are Mexicans down there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah, 10 degrees probably in the 50s for all the Americans over there that are watching this. So that's perfect racing, especially for cars that have turbos. You know,
sure. Well, it's good for everyone, even the naturally aspirated guys. The air's a lot nicer. And if we run here in summer, there's just too much humidity in the air, so everyone struggles. So
yeah, that's pretty interesting. So you guys, it's July now. Eric said it earlier, but drag challenge isn't until the end of October. Well, here in the States, I mean, we're getting in the 30s for most of the country, but over there they're going to be. I mean, it's going to be warm. It's going to be in the 30s.
The different thing about down there is it is warm during the day, but it is cool at night times. So. Oh, well. Generally, if you're transiting at night time, it's not too bad conditions, but it is hot during the day.
It is hot during the day, and that doesn't help track prep as well. As Dan and Dudley were saying earlier, Drag Challenge, an amazing event, and the hard thing for the organisers of that is trying to keep track prep up to it, because you get the UV on the track all day, you get the heat on the track, which means you make a hit in the morning and it's a completely different track in the afternoon.
Yeah, we see that a lot here. Do you guys race? Is it like a morning to afternoon and then you're done? I guess probably with it being winter like that, it probably have to. Yeah.
Correct, we don't have a great deal of daylight, so we started this year. I think kickoff was 9 a.m. and
sort of done by 3.
Pulled up the lanes at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. 200 cars at 6 hours is plenty of time for everybody to get the passes they need to.
Yeah.
Do you guys call them by class, or do you call them up by by ET?
So we just grouped. So we had 10 racing classes. So we grouped them into 2 different groups. So we would call the group like Group 1, Group 2, just to try and split it up. So just
all the tyre classes was Group 1, and all the what we call pro categories. So the index races were Group 2.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. That's awesome.
So we ran Group 1 first at Willowbank day 1. And then obviously we reversed it for day 2, so we get a bit of track temp in.
Yeah.
But in saying that too, we do have a 12.0 cutoff. So when we say the slower categories, they're not slow. They're definitely not slow by any means of the imagination.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, so 12.0.
That's a slow, like it, when you input your registration, you can't put a car in quick. You shouldn't put a car in quicker than 12.0 or slower than 12.0.
That's correct.
Slower.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So if day 1, obviously the race director, if you do enter a car that is slower than 12.0, he will tell you that you're not coming back day 2.
Yeah.
We're not, and like we said, we created this event around the other events that are in the country. As you said, you had Mick from Road Trip Drag Challenge. He doesn't want to do the track prep and the fast cars like we do. So we all work together. Hey guys, if you're looking for this caliber of event, that's where you guys, can chase that.
And that's awesome.
Whereas our
we've been preaching that Yeah, we've been preaching that would work, like a fast.
It does work because it keeps the faster guys faster with the track conditions.
Yep.
We didn't want 120 cars running 15s and 16s just tearing up the track prep.
Yeah.
So,
and one thing I've got to say about the as well with you guys, there was barely any oil downs, and when there was, they were turned around really quick. The event just kept moving the whole time, so everybody got plenty of time on the track.
Well, and a lot of times you're not going to have a guy that's going to run in the 10s. He knows what he's doing. That's not a car that they just on. They may have just put it together, but they generally know what they're getting into.
Yeah, that's correct, and that's what we sort of aim for. That we don't have a dial your own class
for that reason.
For that reason, that everybody is either an index racer or they're heads up
in a tyre class. Yeah,
in a tyre class. So.
Wow.
The cars are tech inspected. They've got nappies. They've got under trays. They've got everything that and they're racers.
65% of the cars in it are all tech cars. So
yeah, that's badass, man. A fast car only event works, dude. We've been saying the great thing. 200 cars is a bunch, especially where you guys are located, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit. Is people don't understand how big the country of Australia is in relation to how far apart these tracks are and starting points and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about these trophies that you guys had, because these things were pretty awesome. How did you guys come up with this idea for these?
Yeah, so we work, obviously, all our sponsors, and we thank our sponsors. So Ben from Prime Speedworks, he's really good friends with the guys at HPT, and Ben actually approached us. So, after seeing the Sick Week helmets and stuff like that, we were like, we need something cool for the top 10. And Ben actually said, look, how about I do this? And I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Let's see what you can do. And before you know it, the guys from HPT, massive shout out to them. There was 2 boxes turn up here with Ava compressor housings. So we were like, okay, we need to obviously make a plaque for them. So that, the week of the event, because obviously we both got our own businesses, we got one of our CNC operator to knock up some plaques and press them into the housings, and
it's super cool.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Say that again.
It wasn't just these trophies that were killer as well. The boys did this all-star billet star as well, and for different people. And that was
it's in Pat's room.
I'm gonna get one.
Yeah. So that's again, all the trophies. We try and give back to the racers. To display one of our trophies on your mantelpiece, it doesn't only make them feel good, but if we supply a high quality product, then you're happy to put it on show.
Well, and that's what we joked about was how many turbos were going to be on Manels this week.
Yeah. So Jamie Farmer from Enemies Racing, so he makes all the wheels and beadlocks and everything here and in America. He actually come to us and said, oh, look, we'll cut the centers out of our beadlocks and give you all the material. So we made a vacuum plate and come up with these.
Hang on just a second. Oh, damn, that's badass.
Yeah, so that's super cool.
All billet CNC'd, and we got the stainless legs for them. That's just a 3D printed one that was our first event one. But yeah, when we say we give back to the people that support us, we mean it. So
yeah, that's cool. Eric, we need to step the game up on trophies for circuit.
Yeah, you're not lying. Those are cool.
Let us know. We'll be able to help you out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know if I could afford billet, but we're in. We need to do something cooler. That's for sure.
All right. So
go ahead.
So last thing here we'll talk about during this segment is kind of give us your history with Drag and Drive. So I know you guys had mentioned you've done them all there. So just give us a quick rundown of what you've done in the past.
Oh, geez. I think I started in 2017. I started doing Drag Challenge here. I did a bit of Drag Week in the States with Lindbergh and Crampton. I've done, how many have I done down south now? 4 drag challenges down south. Done a bunch of road trips up here. It's just it's what we live and breathe. So come from a pro street style background up here, that all died away a few years ago. So looking for something different to do. And it's just a good challenge to try and drive cars on the street and make them last, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it's definitely good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess that's where our businesses thrive as well. Obviously being an engine shop and building cars, and same with Adam down there at MPW. You know, street cars now aren't 14-second cars anymore.
Yeah.
Where that Capri's knocking on the door of, you know, dedicated drag car time, and he can still drive it on the street, take his boy push bike riding on a weekend.
Yeah, we had some of those
And the
conversations.
industry itself pushes us forward too. You know, like all these events we have around Australia, all the shops throughout the industry pick up from it. You know what I mean? So everyone wants to build either drag and drive cars, Kenda cars, whatever they sort of want to build. It all flows on. So it works all around.
I 100% agree with that. As soon as you have an event, everybody gets excited again. Everybody moves forwards, and it is good for all of the shops around, whether it's here, whether it's up north, whatever it is. It's really good for us.
Everywhere.
But my experience with drag and drives is when Street Machine bought out Drag Challenge here in Australia. I think it was 2016 from memory. It's been going for about 10 years. There was 10 of us on the first drag and drive, and that went all the way from here, well, from Sydney back down to here, which is 1,000 odd Ks, and we stopped at different places along the way. And yeah, so that was the first one, and then went from 10 entrants to 300 odd the next year, and every other, I think they're capped at 300 at the moment. So we're the only ones who have won that event in two different vehicles. So I won that in my VK Commodore. That was the weekend version, and I won it in the Capri as well. The first year the Capri did it, we went out and took that out as well. That was quite an eventful time, replacing transmissions every day. We put it over onto a big tyre for that track prep thing, and it was actually getting tyre shake and knocking sprags out of the auto. Like, we were putting that thing down 6 seconds every time we went near a track. As soon as Drag Challenge started, we were struggling to get a hit each day. So it was painful. So, which is why we put it back onto a radial for this event. And we went, look, we know the car will well on a radial, and it paid off. So,
Damn,
and
that's
now you'll
awesome.
never go back.
no.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like Adam and I spoke about it when he came up here, and he's like, you know, all these guys said, oh yeah, it's easy to do on a big tyre, you know, rah rah. So Adam said, oh well, hold my beer. We'll put it on a radial, and we'll go and do the same again, just to upset the haters. Like,
just to prove a point as well, we did not remove a single wheel off of this car all week. The tyres that we tested on, we left on the car. We didn't remove the rear wheels off this car until, well, they're still on it now while I'm driving around with the boys back on the roof. So just to prove that doing it on a radial is much easier, but it all comes down to that track prep.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be there. And like, we've seen Steve Morris go from a big tire to radials on the wagon. I mean, like that, you know, it just makes a ton of sense, especially if you're able to drive around on them, you know, mountain bike parks and jump parks and stuff like that. Like, just get in these cars and go. And that's what I was going to say earlier, is like, it's awesome as we move into a time when, you know, very smart people build street cars. Now it's not some dudes that are doing it as a second, you know, it's not their hobby. They're not doing it because they want to. They're doing it like, I mean, you guys are doing it for a living. Like, you're building badass cars for a living, for people around the country or world. And that's, you have to do right. And you have to have these experiences to be able to do that. So, all right. Question from John Doherty here. He says, would more fast cars want to go if it's a fast car only event? Eric and I have had this conversation about what is that number. Could you get 150 10-second or quicker cars like here in the States, you know?
Yeah, well, so I was going to say, in the States, that surely you would have, you guys are way bigger over there than we are here.
And competition breeds competition. So if all the best of the best are going, they all want to go.
Yeah.
They all
Like, if we can do 200 cars under 12 seconds, I have no doubt you guys over there will be able to do it.
You could do 2,000. Not a year.
I've already been sent photos of guys going, I'm bringing this to All Stars next year to try and compete with you or take out your time or whatever. So the fact that we've gone out and gone fast just means now we've got a target on our back. Everyone else wants to do it.
You're used to that anyway.
It might be time to put a 2-3-5 in it, see if you can go 6s on 2-3-5s.
Hey, I'm up for the challenge. So,
So there's a great question here, and I don't want to talk about it just yet. I want to talk about it in the next segment. So, Eric, do you want to do the ad read real quick, and then we'll move on and move these guys into talking about Adam's car and kind of some other cars from the event.
Yep. Well, we will hit the Deechworks ad read, and then or you want to do this first? Sorry.
Yeah, hit this, and then we'll jump into the Deechworks too.
All right. Appreciate all of our race car friends here joining in again. Appreciate our race car friends here from Australia being on tonight or morning for those guys. And again, can't do it without all of you guys. Appreciate each and every one of you. And our sponsors, Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solution, AFCO Racing Products, Performabuilt Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, Low Dollar Motorsports, Power Tube TV, and Racing Junk. Now I will hit this ad read and then we can move on.
From street miles to track passes, your fuel system has one job: perform when it matters most. At Deechworks, we engineer high-performance fuel systems built for the demands of drag and drives. From injectors and fuel pumps to filters and regulators, every component is engineered to be reliable and consistent under real-world conditions. Whether you're chasing a personal best or driving hundreds of miles between tracks, Deechworks delivers the fuel system your build requires.
And of course, code DDR10, 10% off on Deechworks.com. Okay, let's get back into this conversation here because I think this is going to end up here where they go. So we're going to ask Adam. Turismo here says, ask Adam about his sneaky exhaust system. What the heck does that mean?
So when we built the car, as we said, we have to comply. You mentioned Steve Morris before. I actually quite good friends with Steve, and they can drive around with bull's horns out the front and side exit exhaust and everything. Technically, we can't do that here. So with my car, what we do, it's actually engineered as an aspirated vehicle. So the RTA has signed off on it, said that can legally be driven on the street without turbos. So what we do, we've got two Mavin mounts holding onto the 98mm turbos, and we take off the J-pipe from the header to the V-band of the turbo. And then the exhaust just bolts on underneath the car with V-bands, and it turns it into an aspirated car to drive on the street, which is super quiet. So it's literally, yeah.
That's insane, dude. Oh my! Okay, hang on. Do you have pictures of that on your Facebook page? I got to pull that up.
I'm not too sure if we do. If you have a look at Street Machine's coverage of it, they definitely do from when the vehicle was first built. And yeah, as I say, it's just literally J pipes come out with the wastegate still on them, and they go into our track prep box, and then we just put a joiner into our CO2 and vacuum lines, and then we just V-band up the exhaust and do it up underneath the vehicle, and we're ready to go.
That's pretty smart, man. That's pretty smart.
Well, for one, we're not putting wear and tear.
When he says that,
it's a pain.
When he says that, it's not just as easy as that sounds. Like hats off to Adam and his crew member. There's a 6-hour turnaround to get that thing from race prep.
Look, we do a lot of preventative maintenance. So when we do the car, we comp test it every time. We check valve springs every time. We were experimenting. We've got an issue with pushing the back off of rockers. So it's got an inch lift camshaft in it still, and we're pushing the back off of some Jessel rockers. So we tried going zero lash, taking the inner valve springs out of it. We've tried all these different things to try and prevent that. But it was still our Achilles heel this year. We broke 4 rockers or something, and we only had 3. So again, Mark Whitler, who was the first guy to run 6s, drove 4 hours to drop us off rockers out of his Weiss engine, which saved our backs and got us through the event. But that's the camaraderie that we're talking about. Some of the guys here, the 99% that are really good. But yeah, we check valve springs. We check, when we say check valve springs, we check seat pressures and tensions. We check everything on that car in between passes. And yeah, we're the first ones at the track and the last ones to leave each day to get it done. We do one and done, but
yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, but that's what it takes. Like at the level of these really, really fast cars, that's not a car that you're not going to touch.
Well, there's a reason no one else has done it in this country before. It is hard work. On Street Machine Drag Challenge, as I say, we ended up having 8 odd guys because they don't have quarantine, which means anybody who wears a wristband can work on the vehicle. And when we were knocking sprags out of the car, like up at the bend at Tailem Bend, we had 8 odd guys working on the car that were in helping us pull transmissions out. As we pulled the transmission out, we had to pull the dry sump line off, and it was full of stripper glitter. So we've gone, all right, we've got an issue here. And when it did the sprag, it knocked the oil pump and burnt up one of my bearings. So we're rolling big ends and mains into this thing in the pits whilst we're rebuilding an auto up on a bench, getting it back in with 4 minutes to go with competitors up on the line going, they won't be able to run unless they're here. We literally pulled through 4 minutes to go, ran the fastest pass of the event, and got us around, kept the lead to move on to the next day. Whereas with these guys, only the people really in the car, because we're in quarantine, can work on it. So 2 of us turned that car around for the week and made it with plenty of time, made it happen. We weren't rushing at any point. The good thing with that is as soon as we were ready to go, we could come up to the quarantine lane, pick our lane and get pushed through, which took all of the stress out of it for us of going, are we going to make it? Are we not going to make it? What happens if we blow tires on this hit? So quarantine actually made that really, really good for us.
Yeah. And now how do you guys set up your quarantine?
Yeah, so Dan obviously voiced the idea when we first started planning the All-Stars. And look, not to say that it was purely aimed at Adam, but there was a, when you look at it down there and you see 15, 20 people around the one car, everybody else in the event looks at it and goes, oh, this is unfair. Yeah. So we're like, oh, what can we do to make it, make it fair?
1% of, guys that'll whinge, but.
And anyway, so we come up with it. Now, the first year, obviously, the event was fresh. We were going to make mistakes. We knew we were going to make mistakes. We had quarantine as, the top 3 in the class were in quarantine. That means anybody outside of quarantine couldn't help, and they get their own priority lane. So they can run whenever they wanted through the day. Now, when we come into that, it was fantastic for the first day. And then next minute, we've got a couple of really dedicated
people,
dedicated race car drivers that would lap it. And they were doing 20 laps to somebody's 0. So this year we decided that, okay, look, we need to give them an advantage for being there, but it can't be, all day. Yeah. So we come up with the rule that you get an extra 2 passes.
Yeah, 2 passes. Wow. And you go on the lanes,
and then you jump back into your class. So, like Adam said, he can choose what time of the day he raced. If he knocked the tyres off the first pass, he can come straight back around and do another one, and not have to wait that 2-3 hours to get to the end of the line.
Spent more than 5 minutes in the lanes, I guess, at any one time. So
yeah,
straight through, straight out, and done.
Yeah, and so Drag Week here will do like classes or cars that are quicker than 850. Like a top 3. So it's like ends up being like 3 or 4 classes. Is that kind of how you guys have it set up? Sorry if I missed you.
Well, we've got it for every class.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
So the top 3 per day in every class. Now, that was how it was meant to run last year, and obviously we didn't have the app to track it. Yeah. So we were really the top 3 overall for every class every day. This year it was so we changed it up a bit so that if you were sitting in 4th position, it was sort of an incentive to push into 3rd to get into quarantine the next day.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, there's a lot of strategy behind it.
The day before, so the boys held a test hire of the track the night before, which was good for us because we've driven over 1,000 miles to be there. And having that test was a really good thing. But they also gave the option that if you hand your time slip in that night, you're automatically put into quarantine for the start of the event. So if you're in the top 3 of each class. Now, that was really good for us because it proves I wanted to go out and prove that we can turn this car around with 2 people and that we can run a 6 4 to 5 days in a row and not have a drama. So being able to hand that time slip in and start off in quarantine was actually a really good thing because it shows that it's only 2 of us working on the car. Not only that, we got to go out first thing in the morning when the track had just been prepped, and that's all we needed. So,
yeah,
man, that's crazy. Eric, read the Brown Speedworks.
Prove out any bugs, you know. That's one of our major sponsors.
Man, this is a great comment here too. I'll let Eric go ahead and read it. Yeah.
Said ask Adam about the 4 hours of prep, the 6.5 second pass, and then 4 hour change up to hit the road. Dude's committed.
Yeah. So as I say, we can do it a hell of a lot quicker than that, but it's all preventative maintenance that we do. Like literally all we change to go onto the street when we're not doing valve springs is rear shocks. We wind the front shocks up and we put an exhaust on and take the J-pipes off of it. But in this, we're checking trans pressures, changing fluids, changing engine oil, changing spark plugs. The good thing with the FT700 fuel tech is you just hit it up on the dash and it puts it into street trim anyway. But it's all of that preventative maintenance that we're doing in between things. And not only that, but I've got other races there that we're supporting as well. So we'll do a hit and then I literally run back out onto the start line to help other racers and get them down as well. But yeah, there is a lot of commitment in getting a car like that through.
Oh yeah. That's and when you're talking about knocking the back of the rockers off, I mean, being friends with Steve, that's probably got to help with some backside planning and things like that on how to, hopefully get past that. But dude, 1 inch is the lift. That's pretty tough.
Yeah, look, I've got a good engine. I've got a good engine builder over here. Dandy Engines do the engine for this vehicle, and Frankie works in with Proline a lot. They're all super smart guys now, but the difference is obviously there's not many engines of this caliber running Drag Challenge or running All Stars. So it's all of those little things that I'll drive this thing around the street all year and we don't have a drama with it. But you sit it right and ask Dan. Dan Case has been a really helpful person in my corner as well since we met, just in talking about the harmonics of an engine and why we're braking rockers at that harmonics and should we turn the thing a bit harder on the street? What should we do? Because we never break them at the track. It is literally under street Ks, prolonged street Ks, that we have rocker issues with this thing.
Yeah, the drive part, again, is the hard part of this. Everybody jokes that, that, like, oh, man, I can drive this thing 45 miles an hour. But, dude, you can't do it for 4 hours and 300 miles. You know what I mean? Like, it's just hard on stuff. Stuff gets heat soaked that it never has gotten heat soaked in that kind of application before.
Well, it's like they said before, the 4 hours of prep, 4 hours of turnaround to run 6.5 seconds. I think that 6.5 seconds is the only time I'm not stressed about something breaking. The rest of the time, you're always worried about it.
Yeah, that's where we get stressed. When he lets go of the button, if it all spins and goes bad, we've got egg on our face. So,
but I've seen footage now of when I let go of that button and go down. It's a vibe on that start line. These boys were as happy as my crew were, as happy as I was to see it go down, and that's a pretty special feeling.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think 200 cars is like the perfect number, because it's enough cars that there's a really good atmosphere. Everybody has cool stuff. There's neat cars in that, a ton of different combos, but then there's still time to where everybody can make the passes they need to. Like you can, if you're going up for your calls, three or four passes.
I mean, we were hoping to stop it at 200. We didn't want to end up with 275, and then not everybody get an equal chance to run. So this year was capped at 200. We'll work on next year. We might add 30, 40, 50 more cars and see how it all rolls.
I reckon comfortably you guys
300 up here is...
and I guess our racing format too is a little bit different to the other drag and drives in the country, where we've got the 1 second rule.
Yeah.
So not only are you racing your time, but you're racing the bloke beside you.
Yeah.
So you've got to bump in any time over 1 second reaction time gets added to your ET as a penalty. So
that throws me out. I'm not even good at that stuff.
Yeah. So if Adam to turn up in the Capri and run a 657 and bump in, it's not like he's just sitting on the start line with the green light waiting and everything's nice and calm. You're racing the bloke beside you.
At the end of the day, we are drag racing, right? So the Christmas tree's there to test your reaction time, so use it.
Yeah. So I guess, and that's another hats off to Adam and the team that, it's not just a drag challenge down south, you can sit there with the green light on all day and build boost and do whatever you need to do to get that perfect pass. But if he ran a 650 and red lit, good news, you can't hand that in.
Yeah.
Wow, man, that's tough.
The other thing I love about that as well is if I'm running a 650 next to a guy who's running a 950, what happens if he gets out 3 seconds ahead of me and all of a sudden I'm on his side of the track at 1,000 foot? I just know that I can let go of the button, and it's like doing a solo pass. If something goes bad, I'm in front of the rest of it. So that's a pretty...
Yeah, racers leaving together is probably one of the safest ways we can do a drag and drive. And people complain, we make everybody wear helmets and all that stuff. And this guy's like, man, I'm a 15-second car. I'm like, yeah, but you don't know who's going to be in the other lane.
Yeah.
Is that guy going to wait? Is he going to wait on the line for 3 seconds while that car spools? And then, you're way out ahead and he comes in behind you. So, that's a...
it comes past 200 mile an hour. Scary. Yeah.
And last year we had the bump in learners that they had fast cars, but they've never bumped in. So the last thing we want is to have a burn down on the line. So we had like learner stickers basically stuck to the windscreen. We're happy for them guys to come out and do a solo pass so that another competitor doesn't get burnt down. It's basically for the races. We don't.
We had a new driver there, or a guy that was new to bumping in. And they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but we tried all week. But he would go or we would approach whoever's in the other lane for him, and everybody at that event were accommodating. Everybody made sure he was double bowled before they come in. Everybody helped out. Everyone did the right thing, and it just made it a really pleasant experience.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah, and I guess that's what we love about Drag and Drive here. There's no one better than anyone else.
Yeah.
If Adam is driving up the street and has an 1150 car broken down, he'd pull over and help.
Yeah.
And it'd go the other way as well. I guess some of the drag racing events here, there's so much competition that it becomes nasty. Whereas drag and drive, man, we're all mates doing we've got the same goal.
Yeah, I mean, it's get everybody to the next track, to the next track, to the next track. Let's all make that.
And even us as event promoters and business owners, one of my customers had an aluminium tail shaft fail on day one, and instead of being out of the event, I called the shop, got the boys here, knocked him up a tail shaft, dropped it out to the track. He put it in and ended up coming in the top 10. So
he was second in class.
There's rules. There's rules, and then there's let's be honest here. We're not just going to kick someone out for a mechanical failure.
Yeah.
Let's get a party. Adam got rockers delivered from 4 hours away.
And what was that? It was one of the first passes of the event that he broke his tail shaft as well. It was literally
it was the first tail shaft, first pass.
Yeah.
So aluminium, and it broke through the weld. Now that car's done heaps of passes on that shaft before, and as Adam said, you get to a drag and drive event, and then next minute everything goes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually put away work for the week and turned up to the event. So I felt obliged to help him out and get him back going.
That's awesome.
So it's I guess it's a different kind of atmosphere when the event promoters are on board with the entrants.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about
which is why we have a race director. So we're not biased to help everyone.
Let that dude be the asshole.
That's right.
That's Kenny.
Yeah. We are for the circuit. I'm definitely bringing in somebody that's going to be the hammer this next time, because I made too many decisions last time, and I don't want to do that anymore. So we're going to have a set of rules, and be like, you got to talk to that guy. Yeah, makes it much easier. Let's talk about some other stories from the event. I mean, we've talked about Adam's stuff. Man, like who broke stuff? Who fixed stuff on the side of the road?
So there was plenty of breakages. There was the tail shaft.
Poor guy got hit by a motorbike.
Yeah, there was an incident in Arachula on the way back to Willowbank for the last day. One of the 1150 cars, he's turned into the street where we had to, where the route took him. And there was a young bloke on a motorbike all day doing wheelies up and down the highway with no, it's not registered, he was just a one of those kids out riding his dirt bike, and no lights, no nothing. It was right on dark as Peter's turned in. He's taken the bike out. The bike's hit the side of the car, popped the front tyre. Police come, took old mate away, which is probably the safest thing for old mate, because as we all know, as drag racers, everybody's on board to help, and there was a lot of people there that were not overly impressed with the going-ons. Yeah. So it was probably the safest thing that could have happened to him, but obviously that puts old mate out of the event. He can't get another front tyre. The guard's all buckled in. He didn't run again, but that was probably the worst. He won the hard luck award because it's obviously taken out of his hands.
Yeah. But overall, we didn't have too many majors. We had a few guys with Welsh plug issues, and one guy kicked the conrods out, but luckily didn't make a big mess on the track.
Yep.
Tail shafts. A few rockers here and there. Just general stuff. Yeah. But all in all, we're lucky this year, which is also why we capped it, because you could have a year when you get 15 or 20 cars have big breakages on the racetrack. Oh, yeah. If you don't get the day completed, the whole day's a write-off. So, you got to be careful on how far you push it.
I think there was only one car that the throttle hung and he ended up in the sand.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And even that got turned around.
All in all, it was...
Yeah, it was 15, 20 minutes probably. And track staff are awesome.
And again, hats off for the track staff, Yeah. They got down there, fixed the net. Like, he only just tapped the net, but Justin from IDRP was down there grabbing the shovel.
Back in and made it
was
safe.
Great. But yeah, as for big breakages, I don't think we had too many.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, what about classes? Which classes had tight races? Was there any classes that had some pretty tight ones?
We did. I watched your one of your episodes here where you went through the app and started seeing all the classes and
badass app.
Cheers. All the bracket classes it was wild. We had a guy come up to us on day 3 and he's like, I want to hand this slip in, but I'm in first. Can anyone beat me? And I'm like, you have all the information that I have.
Yeah, you work it out.
You work it out and you tell me whether you can. Because I said the last thing I want to do is say yes, and then someone hands in a better slip and the average comes up. Yeah. I think our 1050 class,
I think Wade Moran 1150 was an 028 across the spread of 3 days.
Yeah.
There was an 030 something in 1050.
But between first and 10th, there would have been 10th in it, if that.
Yeah. And then NA235 had three cars within half a tenth, all running 890s and 880s, that was a very tough class. All 3 completely different cars. Was good.
And when we come up with the rules, we had to work out, not that we thought we'd have an event where there was a tie, but who's going to take the tie. So then we made it mile an hour, and we had one guy handed in with a 10.50, and he's like, I'm good here. And then the next bloke handed one in with a 10.50, and he had an extra 10 mile an hour.
And they were both double O's. It was 001, 002.
They were both double O's, and they're like, I can't be beaten. And you're like, oh, you just got chipped on mile an hour. Go faster.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
the next class really good fun. For that style of racing that guys just chase that number all day, which is good to watch. Whether it's an 850 or 1150, it's still good to watch.
Yeah. Well, and I think the announcers are getting into it. They understand the how hard that is to run, even for a car like an 1150 car. Like those guys are doing hard stuff too. You know what I mean? Like,
well, most of those guys, to be honest, are all foot brake races with no control boxes in them. So it's almost harder in 1150 class. You know what I mean? Like, there's no trans brakes in those classes. Most of those guys are all foot brake. So
I love that better than the DYO class.
Even harder.
You have to race to a number, not your own number. So I love the fact that
correct.
It is time class. So even if you're a 1020 car, you've got to slow it down to a 1050. Whereas if you let go of a button and it goes, or take it off the brake, it goes 1020 every time. It's easier to achieve. Yeah. So having those,
the same as when we go to Warwick, we actually changed the 660 time to be a little bit different to what the quarter mile time is.
What the actual calculation is.
Yeah, so it makes it a bit harder. So they either got to tune it up or slow it down, depending on which bracket they're in. So it's not the same, just to make it a bit harder for them. So, most of the 1050 cars had to go 2 or 3 tenths faster at Warwick in the 8th to try and get that number, which is a good chase for them. So,
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I think that works. The hard part for Eric and I on our side, when we see it, I want to see like somebody to do index classes and the DYO style. Like I want to see that mix, because man, things become such a catch.
Well, I know Stream Machine this year has got 1050 and 950 and 850 as well as DYO. So yeah.
And those boys,
we'll see how that all pans out.
Those boys are mixing some things up with the event this year to make it a bit more streamlined and hopefully make the event a little bit better as well, leading from all of the good things that have been seen from All Stars and everything else. So that's the good thing with the drag racing.
App in the works as well. Yep.
They all work together. They all kind of take something from each other, and it's really good. It's not competition as such.
No.
Oh, absolutely. And we've always said it, we're not here to take anyone's business. We're here to make the industry and the sport better. So, what we got out of doing theirs.
Yeah, 100%. The more the merrier. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to going to their one just to be a racer, just to hide in the corner and have no input, just to race. So,
what do you mean? You weren't doing that anyway. You didn't get busy at all.
Yeah. I was going to say, he's going to be way busier turning around an NA car than what it will be.
7,500 converter ton of trailer. That's silly, eh?
But you're saying about commentators and stuff. So we're lucky enough. We've got the Australian Derek. So we've got a guy by the name of Diggles, and he's an absolute rock star. That guy can talk the flaps off a cardboard box. Mate, he's next level. So
and then put him back on just to talk him off.
His knowledge of drag racing is unreal.
So that keeps the crowd going.
I guess the best thing
adds to it.
Yeah, 100%. The best thing with Diggles and even Shagger is they've got the knowledge there. Like I can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago. Yeah. Diggles will tell you time and mile an hour from someone 5 years ago, and rattle it off in conversation.
You keep the track of all the classes and all the chases going on, so that's good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we put them all in a motorhome this year, so all three commentators were in a motorhome together. So there were some good stories coming out of that too.
I can't imagine.
Did you have to pay?
We bought the highest insurance we could.
I paid the cleaning fee. I paid everything. So I dropped it off, gave him the keys, and she was done.
Yeah.
Well, and
that was the one thing too. The
nonstop talking there would have been hard to be in that thing.
Oh yeah. And all the competitors going past them saying hi and
So with the app that I made, we also had a commentators channel on there as well. So they got all the raw data as it was being entered. So the next day, he's got it all there, ready to go. That he can call out and put over the live stream and everything. So
just to make their life easier.
Yeah, the app is awesome. I think that's what, as we move forward as a sport, I think we're going to see more stuff like that. And it's incredible. I mean, I want the people that are watching this to go over and look at it. I mean, All Stars Drag and Drive, find it on Facebook, find it on the web.
Yeah. So I'm in the works at the moment. Making it so that it's going to be more diverse and universal for everybody to use. Yeah. And even to a point where there may even be a subscription that the event promoter can sell to one of their guys, that anywhere in the world you can watch an event that's happening. Yeah. So if they're using the app over there, people over here can buy a subscription, jump on and watch everything that's happening live.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of the hardest things, and that's where, like, Eric and I struggle all the time because, dude, we could go live every day as soon as the event ends, and as soon as the day ends, and go over that. But
well, this year was 10 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah. So this pushed me to make it after last year, where at the end of the racing, Dan and I'd sit down for probably 2 hours, and we'd check all the data and compile it all. Work out how we're going to post it on Facebook, do everything like that. And I was like, man, we've got to get back some beer drinking time. Yeah. We're doing this for fun. We can't sit here and try and concentrate all night. So what can we do? I developed the app, and Dan and I sat down many late nights and tested it and found the problems and fixed it and ran around right up until, even after the event when someone goes, I think that's wrong because of this. And I was like, you know what? There is a formula in the background that's wrong. So I'll fix that and change it all around. So
that's awesome.
But definitely save time. Within 10 minutes
saves heaps of time, yeah. But like I said, I want to try and develop it now that we can send it worldwide so everyone uses it. Yeah. And make it affordable enough that you don't need to spend the 3 months that I have trying to develop your own.
Yeah.
And also have it that everywhere in the world can follow every event.
And then it's a common thing. Everyone knows how to use it. It's the same across the board.
Yeah,
it'll be a lot easier.
Yeah, that is one thing we're seeing is we hope to see more events kind of use the same format going forward. I'm putting together some historical stuff, and good God, it's like screenshots of notebook paper written down. I mean, dude,
Oh yeah.
we're never going to be taken serious as a sport until somebody takes it serious on that side.
Yeah, and that was us. Like, and even this year, we'd post the photos, and Facebook's got this little button in the background that you've got to uncheck to send messages.
Yeah.
So people were clicking on the photo, and then they were sending us abusive messages saying, "I just want to see the photo. Stop sending me message." And I'm like, "What are you on about?
I'm sorry.
I don't even know what you're talking about."
Yeah.
But yeah, so now with the app, I can press one button, it downloads all the image files, and I can upload it straight away. So in 15 minutes after the event's closed, we're packing up and having a nice cold beverage.
And on a side note, it was even better this year because we had Dave and Karen from On Point Media do all our social media posts for us, do all the merchandise, and that took a heap of stress off our shoulders.
Yeah.
So they did all that themselves.
Yeah.
So
that's
really well.
that's a pretty smart move. We might have to look at some of that for some of the stuff we do over here, because man, that's a tough one. All right. Big shout out to D-Tworks. Want to say thanks to them for all they do for us. I mean, they were our Racer Party sponsor. They're a title sponsor of the Short Circuit. I mean, all kinds of cool stuff they do for us. Appreciate them. And then, of course, Performer Built Transmissions as we move into the next segment here. Performer Built is the official transmission builder of Drag Driver Pete. At Performer Built Transmissions, the goal is to engineer and build the toughest transmissions on the planet. Performer Built doesn't just rebuild transmissions, they systematically re-engineer each model to eliminate OEM flaws and achieve the highest level of performance. That's why they say our transmissions are not just built, they're Performer Built. And I'll say it all the time, this car weighs 5,100 pounds, and they put it into the low tens, almost a 9-second pass with a 4L60 in it. I mean, when this thing goes down the road with the trailer, it's 7,400 pounds. Like, it's insane. Wow. It's awesome, and it lives. Let's talk about how much harder it is on Australians building cars than compared to what we have to do over here in the States, where you can buy stuff just about every street corner.
Sorry, I've still got
PTSD. Well, it's double. Yeah.
Still got a little PTSD.
Yeah, transmissions were not a good thing for us at Drag Challenge. Look, I'm sure the boys agree with me here. The hard thing with us, as we touched base on before, our road rules are a lot more strict than you guys. Like, we've spoken about Steve Morris, right? Seeing Steve's cars, being in Steve's cars and everything, they are what we would class as borderline a pro mod over here. We can't have those kind of roll pages on the street. We can't have that kind of chassis setup on the street, lack of transmission tunnels, nothing. So we have to comply with basically what a street car is. So what we're running 6-second passes with, those cages don't even comply to your 25.5, or we can't even go 850 faster than 850 in America with those cages.
Yeah.
Because if we're seen to be driving on the street with like an SFI Tech cage, mate, we're grounded straight away, which means that transport will stop our vehicle. They'll ground us. We cannot move it. It has to be put onto a tow truck and towed away.
That's crazy. Why would they not want you
to
to
never register it again?
Correct. We've got to have a hand.
Yeah, they say it's an unfair advantage. Yeah.
So we've got to have an operational park brake. We have to have full steel body. We've got to have operational lights, everything as you guys do. But we've got to have ADR compliant seats, seat belts, braking systems, everything.
Bonnet latches, the whole deal. Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense in my head. What about you, Eric?
Yeah, that's like, it's hard to comprehend. Like, here we can throw some 10-year expired 5-point harness in our street car and nobody's going to bat an eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a.
I mean,
and then,
you could
to make it worse,
lap belts on old shit. You know what I mean? They wouldn't care either. I got my seatbelt on.
Yeah. And then to make it worse, you import parts, and it's just way more expensive than what you guys experience over there, because obviously all the import tax duties, the dollar exchange, it's just expensive here to build an engine. So let alone build a whole car.
Yeah.
So does that make the tuning does that make like your tuners better because you're doing so much more on factory stuff? Yeah, you're trying to make stuff live
our track
longer.
grip and our lack of big engines makes our tuning better. That's for sure. So we've got to tune around bad tracks. We've got to tune around basically stock engines to do things, which we're still running in the 7s with stuff like that. But it's all the chassis stuff that's a lot harder. I'm sure you will agree with me here. You guys can turn around and literally go a 25-1 or a 25-2 or like Brett's stuff where it's a 25-1, a fully adjustable rear end, everything in it. And he can just drive it on the street, unbuttons a window out of it, and because it's no longer roll up, roll down, we have to have glass. We cannot use Lexan or anything like that. It has to be glass. It has to be roll up and roll down windows and everything. We can't. Yeah. So those guys can go and race that, which is why it's super impressive for us to run 6-second averages now, because we're doing them in what you guys would class as almost a stock vehicle.
Wow. Man, that's incredible.
Yeah, well, I mean, signing day when Adam rolled onto the weighbridge, I reckon every entrant and their neighbour was standing there waiting to see the weight of it, thinking that it was going to be a really light car. Yeah. And what did it end up going, Adam, with you in it?
It's 3,200 in it.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's
it's, again, credit, hats off.
Well, you put his comment on a 2,500 pound car, you do the math, it's pretty fast.
Yeah.
And it's nothing exotic. Like it's a dirty old tractor engine, that thing. It is a dark big end block. It's a Kelly's Magnum crank with it's got Oliver Pro Max rods in it and a custom Sibtech piston with profiler cylinder heads on it. Now, it's nothing exotic at all. The fact it's still steel rodded, cast cranked, and the car's running mid 6s, like it's running 50s pretty comfortably.
Yeah, forged crank. Yeah.
That's incredible. And to be, real glass, real steel. I mean, that's freaking incredible.
Yeah.
Well, even Steve messaged me after that and said, congrats. Like that would have won our class at Sick Week. And Tom and the boys put a really good event on there, but that's the first time in Australia that we've actually compared with you guys. And so we're in the process now. While everyone's talking about this car, we've already started building another car. This one, I'm not going to play the game of getting it engineered because we, as I said about Tall Poppy, we got a bit of crap over here about, it can't be a street car. So we're just going to show everyone what not a street car is and roll up to the event with the boys and we'll do some cool shit. So
that's awesome. So in that case, like what happens? I mean, like are you just taking the chance? You're just going to drive it? You're like, hey,
the target becomes a lot bigger on his back.
You just run the gauntlet. Like nearly everybody at these events will register a vehicle, then do the modifications. And it's only if they get pulled over that there's a drama with it.
Gotcha.
And heaven forbid that never happens. I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. But that's the way that you've got to roll over here sometimes. Whereas we've really taken the effort with this vehicle to try and do everything by the letter of the law with it. And we've managed to do what we've done. And now I can't see us getting much faster and still complying by the road rules. So for everyone who says this isn't a street car, we're just going to show them what not a street car is. So we're just going to bring a race car to a street event next time, and then they can say what they like. But our plan is this car that we're building. As I say, I'm lucky enough to be good mates with a lot of the guys in the States, and Brett LaSalle has got us onto Matt from More Race Chassis. And working in with Matt, we've actually done a right-hand drive conversion to one of his chassis. And because we do all our own chassis in-house and all that kind of gear, that allows us to get it out of Bentec and build it on our chassis G here and build an Australian version of one of the cars over there. Can't say too much about the build at the moment, but obviously Stevie Morris has got a bit to do with it and some of the boys over there. So it'll be one of those things that once we achieve what we want to here, we're going to send that car over and come racing with you guys. And Reiki and Tom and the boys have been trying to get us over to Sick Week for a while. So that'll be the car that we bring over and race with you guys, but it will comply with your 25-1 rulings.
That's awesome, dude. That's badass. And right-hand drive, that'll be one of the very few ever, maybe.
Yeah.
The right
if
side.
the only, maybe?
The right side.
Yeah.
No, There was that was it like a silver Mopar something that was over here.
John Ferrone's. Yeah.
Well, next thing here on our notes is talk a little bit about fuel costs. Like what's the cost of fuel there, and like what's it cost to run an event in a car like that?
Think of California and then think worse.
Oh my God, no way.
Yeah, I go from Texas over to California, and I can't believe it's...
Well, that drum of fuel right there is only $600.
Oh, what the dude. No way.
$25 a litre for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's $100 a gallon.
No, that math don't even make sense to me.
And look, I'm a tight ass, so I run methanol, which is only $3 a litre, so it's nowhere near that bad. But our normal street fuel. What is it up there with you guys? Like we're $2.20 a litre for like our 98.
Yeah, we're around that now.
Yeah, same.
Man,
so
$9-10 a gallon.
Yeah.
Man, it would be very difficult to be a hot rod guy over there with all the stuff you get going. Why do you think they're like that? Why do you think it's so tough? Is it just
politics?
They just don't want to have fun. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
None of the politicians are.
I think that that's right. I think we're too governed by the one
toffee nose people.
The one sort of party. Whereas over there, it's you go to a different county, a different.
I mean, you guys can carry guns and do all the things that you want to do. We can't do that over here.
People are all for people, whereas here I think they're all for lining their own pocket.
Yeah,
we've just got taxes upon taxes upon taxes. Like as the boys mentioned before, I'll use Dusty for example. We order a converter through PTC. We pay what he charges us. Then we pay our import fee, which isn't GST or anything. Then we pay GST on that, which is 10% of what the product cost us, including freight. So if it is, let's call it $4,000 US, that's roughly 6,000 Australian dollars. It then gets in, we'll be charged a percentage of that as an import fee, and then we're charged 10% on that, so another $600 and something for GST before it even lands at our door. For us to try and make $1 out of it, moving it on to a customer, we'll be lucky to make 5-10% on a product like that. And all of a sudden it's...
And then you've got to charge your customer 10% as well for GST.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything you buy, even if it's 5th or 6th hand, gets GST on it.
Yeah. So our CNC operator here, he's from America, from Minnesota. And he said when he moved here, he's like, what do you mean you've got to pay taxes every single time it changes hands? Like it should only be the last person. I'm like, oh, get used to it, man. Yeah. And there'll be tax on tax soon too, I'm sure.
Oh, and it's worse in Victoria. Down here, down south, we pay more tax than these guys pay up north. So it's just our government at the moment is definitely not for the people. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's lining their own pockets, I think.
Yeah.
And you're getting more trouble if you get caught driving a race car on the street. You're getting more trouble than what you will if you blatantly cause an accident in a normal road-going car and you're just a mum. We'll make front pages of the paper and all that kind of stuff. Like they really frown upon what we do.
We've seen some of that in the past here with the EPA stuff, and I think it just comes down to car guys are typically a pretty easy target. We're pretty easy to pick out of a parking lot. There's a car that looks a little different than all the others. Let's go check that thing out. You know what I mean? I think it just becomes we're an easy target. We typically have expendable income, So they're like, oh, hey, that guy's got a little money to put wheels on his car. Yeah, let's go check that size. This car came with 235s. You have 255s on it. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, they should be looking at it like, hey, that guy's in debt. Have a look at him. He's got no money to pay us.
That's exactly right. That guy spent all his money on that car. Let's leave him alone.
Yeah,
would be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, the other question here is, so for your guys' events over there, how far do people typically travel to attend your event? Is it relatively close, or do people travel from long distance to get there?
No, so I guess over here where, Australia's a fairly big country with not as many tracks as what you have. So people come from all over Australia. you know, from where Adam is to get to us is what, 3 days?
800 Ks.
Yeah, 3 days. I've just got my phone out at the moment, working out. So there's a guy that one of my good mates, he travelled to me, and he comes from Darwin.
Yeah, Troy. Yep. Well, he around 4,500 Ks just to get to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's just on 4,500 kilometers to us, and then we're 1,800 kilometers up there. So you go, let's call it 6,000 Ks by the time you're done, and that's what, 12,000 kilometers he's travelled to be at that event. So he's come down to Victoria. He was going to race his car. We're still waiting on some bits for it. So he actually did the road trip with me, and the pair of us drove up, and it's a week by the time we get up there and back.
Yeah. Just for the Americans, that's 3,700 miles.
Wow.
Each way.
Each way. So that's that's Rich Guido shit from Canada to Florida.
Well, it's like going from Seattle to Miami, just about, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty close. Here's kind of where this question came from. Like when I look at the continent of Australia, like you guys, there's these, all the events are here on the far right. You guys can see this, right? Like, are there not other events in or other tracks anywhere else, I guess?
On the West Coast, there's a really good track at Perth, but there's no drag and drives there because there's no other tracks to race at. Yeah. So it'd all be out of one facility.
And I guess our biggest push for our event is good track prep. So we've got probably another 3 tracks around us that we can go to, but they're airfields and they're regional sort of. You wouldn't put Adam down in a 6-second car,
right?
So you sort of, we've got to play with what we've got, and respect what we have. And obviously down in drag challenge. What was that, mate?
And right now, as we speak, we literally do not have a track here in Victoria. So we've had one of our tracks. It hasn't ran a proper drag meet for several years. The other track has had some drama around it and actually got some new owners. Now, both of those new owners are dedicated drag racers. One of them has the quickest screw blow and pro mod around, Johnny Ricker. So him and Dan and Wally Sobolics have actually bought Heathcote Park Raceway, which is now Victoria Motorsports Park, and that's a couple of months away from opening. So that's going to make our events down here much better as well. And from the rumours I hear, Swan Hill's about to open back up again, which is probably 250 Ks from Heathcote, which means that opens up more drag and drives down here, whether it's the boys running weekend events, whether it's Street Machine running other events throughout the year. But it means that within 600 kilometres, we've got Swan Hill, Heathcote, Mildura, Portland, and the Bend, which means all of a sudden we're about to have this network of tracks that can make everything much easier, like these guys have up there with the 2 good tracks that they have. But the good thing about where their tracks are, there's multiple ways to get around it and multiple routes that you can take. So even though you're going from one track to the other, you don't touch the same piece of road twice.
Yeah, that's a huge win, especially for a weekender event like this.
Yeah. And that's it. Like, with hats off to the boys down at VMP, Ricker and Zabolics and that, they're racers as well, right? So we are genuinely excited to see what they do to a racetrack, that's run by the racers. I think that's where we've all got to get back to. And, drag racing over here isn't a corporate, I guess, entity. It's all about the people doing what the people want to do, and I think they need to support that.
Yeah. Well, these guys are so good.
And I think they will.
Talking to both Ricker and Sobolics, those guys are so committed to the cause of drag racing over here that they've blatantly said, we are not taking a cent out of the track. Everything it makes, it goes back into it. We both have our own companies. We both make money there, which means that this track is literally to support the racers. So hopefully people see it for what it is there and support them as much 100%. As they can.
And that's right. And just on that, that's Dan and myself too, right? This event isn't about making money. It's about growing the sport and the interest and giving back to the people that support to support our other businesses. So yeah, you know, like without the sponsors that we do have, there's no way we could do what we do.
Yeah. Right.
And that's made very apparent by being at the race meetings as well and being at All Stars. It was very apparent that the boys love it as much as us racers, and the excitement down there. As I said it a few times, but it was an absolute vibe. I'm lucky enough that I host Street Machine's YouTube channel. So we've done a couple of episodes. There's one about to drop of behind a 6-second average today. So we've filmed everything on our journey and we show everybody what we went through. Last week, we actually put event coverage up for the guys, and you'll see everybody on the start line is absolutely pumped. Everyone's having fun. All of the contestants are having fun. As soon as the fast cars come out on the track, and not just me, Brandon Zito went 718 still on E85. Like super impressive car, but everybody follows him out to the start line, and just the vibe there is just next level.
That's awesome.
Well, this question,
yeah, I think
Joe
everybody's
asked,
got that genuine interest.
Yeah.
Joe asked, "Do you guys hit kangaroos like we hit deer on the drives between tracks?"
Yeah, last year.
Well, touchwood this year there was none.
Yeah, Danny Lansdowne got one last year and nearly rode his car off.
Yeah, there was 2 or 3 last year that got a couple. So,
oh man,
damn, that sucks.
Yeah,
we did.
And yes, they do the same damage as what deer do as well. When you hit a kangaroo, you know about it. They do not move.
oh
yeah.
They're a big lump of meat.
Part of our schedule this year was to move it all forward so we could get on the road earlier to try and minimise the night driving.
Yeah.
So, and we tried to select routes that are a bit less kangaroo-y. So,
Did we drive during the day this year? I thought it was on.
You probably didn't.
Yeah. I remember last year, by the time we packed up at Willowbank and we got to Warwick, it was like 9 p.m.
Yeah, we got there by 6 this year.
And we were all sitting there going, oh my, now we've got to set up for tomorrow. You know, like, let's do that. This year, with obviously the app and the extra help we had, we were in Warwick by 5 p.m. going, oh, wow, it's still semi-light. Yeah. Let's go to the pub.
Yeah. Let's go get some real beers. Not parking lot.
We're getting notifications off these boys going, how are you guys traveling? We send them a photo of literally every lifter out of an engine, and we've got our work stand on top of the intake manifold. Looks like an echidna with all of the push rods hanging out of it. And they just send us back a beer. We're like, thanks, guys. It's really helpful.
Yeah.
Hey, we all did dinner.
Yeah.
Wow.
We got all kinds of kangaroo questions coming in. Do you guys eat kangaroo? If so, how is it?
We're the only country in the world that eats our coat of arms. Don't worry. You sit still.
Probably not the ones you run over, but I'm sure the ones you buy from the butchers are better.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
We ride them to school too.
So with the talk of more tracks coming, are you guys going to keep your event at 3 days?
Look, next year there's talk to definitely move to the 4. I think we've been following and looking at the worldwide list, you know, and I think it's only fair that people like Adam and Dan Smith and Brendan in the Salika and Brendan Zito, all them boys that have the potential to be on that list.
Yeah.
We give them the opportunity to get there. So I think it's 4 days of racing, and there's a certain amount of Ks.
Yeah, at least 500 miles.
Yeah, 500 miles or something we've got to look into that. Yeah, we'll definitely do it. I mean, you know, Adam did it this year. He did 5 6-second passes and still drove all the kilometres. So, you know.
And he's got spare rockers now, so he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about the price of parts over here. It's like it cost us over 10 grand for a set of rockers. So, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So, yeah, look, definitely next year there's talk of expanding the event an extra day and trying to work out the kilometres so that we can, you know, where we start, we finish here, so that everybody's got their tow cars locked up. And, you know, to do a 5-day event, a 4-day event's hard when we're going to try and move between tracks. And there's only 2 tracks, so yeah. But no, look, definitely we're open to, but we don't want to kill a good thing, right? We don't want to get to a point where we're chasing. Okay, guys, we need to get to here. We need 300 entrants, and we need an extra track. And why change something that's working too much?
Yeah. Well, and I think
we lose sight I think some people lose sight of it and get pulled down in the corporate world.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what Eric and I struggle with all the time because the circuit's 3 days, and man, I want it to be the best experience for people to have. I want it to ruin people because they're like, damn, that was so much fun. We had such a good time. They go to other events and they're like, damn, this one's hard. That was pretty.
And that's pretty much what we said. We took the little bits of everywhere and went, we need to do something that's not been seen before, and here we are. Our top 10 list. There wasn't one 8-second car in the top 10 list.
Yeah, you put on a hell of a show. Okay, let's move in towards this last bit here because I want to help Americans get over there with you guys. Eric, you want to read the AFCO ad read?
Yep. Racers know when you want performance that wins, you want AFCO. From shocks and suspension to cooling, brakes, and more, AFCO Racing has been helping teams go faster for over 30 years. Built by racers for racers, check out the AFCO Advantage and follow them today on social media for the latest in performance parts. AFCO Racing, built to win.
All right, so the whole purpose, I told you guys this before we started, but I want, my goal would be to have some Americans end up over with you guys, right? Like you guys coming here, guys coming from Sweden to the States, guys from UK. I mean, that's a pretty normal occurrence. Canada, I mean, we know Rich Guido comes in and just thumps every American he ever races. But like, how do we get people, can we ship our cars over there is the question, or is it better to be like David Gallimore and buy something over there and just
look, and that's where Dan and I have spoken about it several times. How do we get you guys involved over here? Now, shipping something over like Steve's car, it's just not going to fly on the road. Right. Like Adam said, you're trying to get something like that over here to drive on the road, and you're just going to be a target.
Yeah, the only thing that we fear is if someone like Steve Morris came in his car, got impounded, well, then it's a drama to try and get it back to the States.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
how do you get it out?
And,
correct.
So, however it happens, if Adam wants to put his hand up and build a couple of drag and drive cars for you boys, that'd be good.
Yeah. Look, and we've already had that conversation with two of the guys over there. So, I've mentioned their names in this video before, but I'm in talks with two of the big names over there that we're looking at bringing over and putting into a couple of my cars to drive over here just to get that enjoyment between us and you guys. And as I say, I'm lucky enough that they host me over there and let me come racing with them. So it's a bit of feedback here. Yeah. But the problem is our road rules. Bringing your cars over here, you are better to buy a car over here and race it that that's going to get around and do the circuit, or working with somebody that and drive one of theirs, or even be a crew member in it. But it would be great to have you guys
look, if the cars that were coming over would comply, then by all means, absolutely. But we see pro mods driving around over there.
Your 1050 cars and all that kind of stuff, you could bring them over and drive them on the street and stuff here, no dramas at all. But if you're talking about bringing super fast cars over, like Steve's, like Brett's, like any of those guys, like Tom's car, you just couldn't drive it here.
Joe Haney saying $5,000 budget class. How fun would that be? A bunch of dumbass Americans.
Well, discussed the workshop
cars we don't even know anything about.
Look, there's Dan and I are in talks of another event as well that we can go into later. But the $5,000 budget class for the All Stars would be near impossible. We've got a 12.0 cutoff, so you've got to be under 12. And as Adam was saying, the price of parts, you can't buy anything over here.
You'd have to make it a $15,000 challenge, and at best, you'd be
even our junkyard LSs, as you guys call them over there, people are still paying $5,000-6,000 just for the engine. So that's crazy. To try and build a car for $5,000, I reckon our budget class here would have to be 15.
Yeah.
If you build a budget car here, it'd have to be 15.
You'd have to ban Adam Rogash because he'd find a way to beat us.
Yeah.
Well, you have to know what you're doing in the beginning.
Rules, though. If we work by Jack Stan's rules, I reckon we can get something through for that 10 to 15. The scratch and dent sales that he had. We can make it work.
Yeah.
And we do manufacture a lot of our own parts, so maybe we can do that too.
Yeah, that's right. But I don't see that being a thing for the All-Stars because it would just be too expensive.
Yeah.
You know, even the 1150 cars you see are beautiful cars.
The caliber of cars that were at the event were next level. I didn't walk around and see one vehicle that I wouldn't have owned. Like they were all killer cars. Everyone should be proud of what they've done.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, we say the same thing to the guys. And, you know, we get some people go, oh, you know, you don't really need us there. Well, it's not a case of that. Like you've got a killer car that runs 1150s. You are just as big in our eyes as the guys that run 6.
And 1150,
it's for the racer, by the racer. So
Kel says, ask Adam about driving strip show around after All Stars. Oh, you're talking just on your strip. Is that what you call your car? Is that the?
So the name. I've had this thing. My first car that I put on the circuit was called No Show, because originally it was. It was more go than show. So we called it No Show. And then everybody goes, oh, is it a no-show? Like, you're not going to show up. So the next one I built was called All Show, as a bit of a laugh because it was a 750. I've still got that car. So it's a 750 VK Commodore. It's been 750 at 193 mile an hour. So that's called All Show. So this one was dedicated around the drag strip. So we called it Strip Show. And the new one that's getting built, for obvious reasons, we're calling it Pro Show. So I've just got this thing. Yeah, but so with the Capri or Strip Show, since we've got home, I've got 3 kids under 12, and they've been pestering me. Can you pick us up from school? Can you take us to netball? Can you take us to football in it? And I said, look, if we win the event and it comes back in one piece, then we'll do all of these things. So we've been driving around for the last week and a half with the kids, picking them up from school and apparently making the preppies cry. It was a bit loud for a couple of the young kids there, but then going to football and stuff like that. And I was taking my son to football on the weekend, and he said, oh, Dad, all of the boys are taking their bikes because there's a skate park right next to it. I've got this thing called a sea sucker, which vacuums to the roof and it holds on the push bike. So I threw that on with his mountain bike and took him down the street and that. And that kind of turned a few heads, and there were some videos floating around of that. And the next one,
I just sent you the photo of it, Michael.
My major sponsor is actually a caravan manufacturer. So they're going to lend us one of their little 1,400 kilo caravans for a weekend. And we're actually going to take it away with the Capri and have a bit of a laugh with that too. But yeah, the car is literally driven on the street. These boys know that. It's one of those things. I run a busy business here and we're flat out. And I think we haven't had this conversation between the 3 of us, but I think at one point the boys thought that I wasn't going to show up to the event. And I got a phone call from Dan Case, and he's kind of, oh, how are you guys traveling? I said, well, it's about this point that I realized how much of an idiot I am. And he said, why is that? And I said, well, I'm loading pistons, rods, camshafts, lifters, push rods, everything I own into a trailer so I can come and tow it around up north for a week. And at that point he kind of goes, yeah, you're definitely committed then.
Yeah, this is badass. And I think this is, you know, on WhatsApp, this is badass to me, man. Like running around with the bicycle on the roof. I don't know if there's anything cooler than that.
Yeah, well, the kids love it, and that's the main thing. If I can have my kids interested in what I do for a living, then look, all the other kids think that we're rock stars for what we do and watch our content on YouTube, and my kids do not give a toss at all about it. And so if I can make them interested in what I do for a living, and that just means driving around in that car, it's pretty cool. I took my daughter to get ice cream in it, and my wife rang me while I was out and said, hey, can you grab me a bottle of rosé? So we took it through the bottle shop and all that kind of gear. So it is just a street car.
I mean, it's not even Adam's kids. It's, you know, Adam was nice enough on day 3 up here to all the broken rockers he was signing and writing his times on and handing them out to the kids and everybody. And the wife, my wife got one, and it's now currently sitting on my mantelpiece. So,
and then I get a picture. So my engine builder has actually laser etched each of my rockers, and I get a picture, and I didn't even notice, but one of them said 5EX, meaning 5 exhaust.
Yeah. 5
he said,
exhaust.
"You
And
trying to
that's
give me
the one the wife got. I was like, well played,
and
Adam. Well played.
This subliminal hint that says sex on it, and I'm going, hey, I didn't mean it like that, all right? You're wonderful people, but
yeah,
Awesome.
we took it really well. So
Well, I did add some photos to the slides, and I just wanted to run through. But with 4 folks on here, it's kind of tough to do that. So the cool thing I think for Eric and I, as we look through this stuff, is like these aren't cars that we see here in the States. So obviously, huge driver meeting, love that. The shots of the road going cars is kind of cool to me. We don't see a bunch of that, but man, the variety in the staging lane here, just top notch, dude. Super cool cars, and a little bit of everything. Where's this other shot at? No, this one right here. Badass setup.
3 brothers too.
But this right here, whoo, mama. I
Very
love
Nike.
hot rod stuff, and this thing that's bad.
He actually won the giveaway trailer last year, that fella.
Wow, how cool, man! It's a super cool car. This is a great shot. I figure these are Holden's, right, and then that's a GTR, right? I'm not, or Skyline.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're 3 brothers. Yep.
Man, yeah, just awesome. These whatever the hell. I mean, I know you guys call CU, but I don't know what this is like officially called. But this thing, I love this. This is fantastic to me.
Yeah. So and John, who owns that car, last year, I think he did the most amount of passes. He did something like 40 passes over the 3 days.
850 class. Yeah.
In the 850 class, just chasing that number. And
wow.
When he obviously made his speech, he'd like to thank his transmission builder, because I've never seen a transmission go through the amount of hurt. And like hot lap.
Yeah.
There was no cooling down in between. He was hot lapping it.
So in relation to like an American car, what size is this thing? Is this a small car? Is this something like a mid-size?
Yeah, it's a little bit smaller than a Chevy too.
Oh,
that would be roughly what, 108-inch wheelbase?
No, not even. Probably be 100 to 99 to 100 like a Tirana. So
wow,
a bit more than a Vega, but a bit less than a Chevy too.
Yeah, so my Capri is 100-inch wheelbase.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so small.
Right.
This thing right here, these are my people. I don't even know these guys. I don't know who it is, but I'm a fan.
So Ed Craven's a good customer of mine. We built the Chrysler in that, so it's a little 316. And him and his son are just dedicated to the cause. Liam actually, he was having trouble at school, and the school said to Liam, like, you need to read books, man. And he was not interested in reading books, so he took a Tirana Haynes manual to school and read it front to back.
Wow.
So Liam and Ed have been there since the start. They actually won the Cruise Crew Award, so he's part of the Cruise Crew. They built the trailer for the event. They got the car ready for the event. They do everything together as a father and son team. And it just goes to show you don't need a 12-second car to come. Mm-hmm. These guys are in the Cruise Crew, so they do everything else but the racing.
Man, and that's a great point too. I didn't even think about that. So if you're too air quotes slow to get into the race, man, sign up for that. Get the motivation, and then your comeback is an 1150 car.
Yep,
correct. That's right.
Yeah, and people like that make the event. We are genuinely, happy to have people there that are interested in what we do.
Man, some of this stuff is insane, dude. Like that car looks tiny.
So Rowan, it is tiny. It's got probably a 75 to 80 inch wheelbase,
13B turbo.
Now Rowan, prior to
what that car lacks in size, he makes up in personality. Don't worry.
Yeah. So Rowan actually he's never been into drag racing, never been into anything else but like the power cruises and doing burnouts. And last year the boys from 101 Motorsport said, "Oh, look, we're bringing him along. He's a bit of a rat bag." And I was like, "Hey, if he can do the times, it's all good." And after the first meeting, he's like, "Dude, this is like the event of the year for me." So when we seen him back there this year, it was, and that thing is loud. It's a 13B turbo that just sits on limiter the entire day.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
How cool. Eric, we got to make this trip, dude.
There's such cool vehicles there that we want to see if we don't.
Yeah.
We'll probably
Guys,
just
what
cut it
haven't we talked about? I feel like you hinted earlier at maybe another event coming up. Do we want to get into some of that? Do we want to? What haven't we
No,
talked
not yet.
about if we
No,
want to?
that's a different sort of thing. So
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, look, you guys will be involved in it when it happens. So,
But we'll definitely be running the same sort of thing next year. Whether we look at doing, multiple events in the future, we'll just see. But at this stage, it's just one a year.
Yeah.
It's hard enough with the business to try and
Oh,
find the time to make it as good as it needs to be. So,
and again, we don't want to water it down.
no, we don't want to cut any corners. We want it done right.
The level of cars that we get and the track prep and everything else. I think if you try and go too big and do too many things, you end up going backwards. So, we always said it's for the racer. So the last thing we want to do is water it down and make it a lesser event.
well, and for the folks that are fans of ours that are watching, we will have hosted 4 drag and drive events at Tulsa Raceway Park this year. Like, we're getting more people in our single day stuff, but we're seeing we're not getting new folks. We're getting drag and drive racers that are wanting to add one more to the list. They're like, hey man, I'm not doing anything that weekend. I'll come over and I'll hang out with you guys. And instead of like gathering all these new people, which is kind of what I had hoped it would do. We're only seeing about 30% of the entries being brand new to drag and drive, which blows my mind because I figured, hey, a single day 100-mile drive, dude, people are all in. But I think people are still scared just a little bit.
We're doing
Over
something
here is a bit different too. Like there is a lot of drag races over here that are diehard drag races, and there's a lot of streetcar guys that could not care less about drag racing. Yeah. So this is an in-between void. You got Jamborees, Kenders, and the drag and drive that those guys will build their cars for. They don't care about bracket racing or racing for gold Christmas trees or the big events. This is what they want to do. So this side of the industry, it will just keep getting bigger.
Yeah.
So
I think there's 8 events now in Australia, something like that, 8 or 9.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 bigger ones, and then the rest are.
Yeah, they're all the weekends.
Yeah, a different style. Yeah.
You were saying about your shorter drives in between tracks or racing and stuff like that. There's nothing here that we do that. Like I think if anyone was going to do it, these boys would get away with it, where you have to do a pass, drive 100 miles, 150 Ks, drive back to that track and race. But that's something that seems to be big over in the States. So I've got a lot to do with Street Machine and Summer Nats.
I did discuss it with the track last year. Yeah, it was an option.
Yeah, and so we're taking Summer Nats over to Indianapolis in September on the 18th and 19th. And one of the classes is exactly that, where you race, drive 100 miles, drive back. And you guys seem to be super interested in that format of racing.
Yeah.
Whereas over here, there's, as I say, to try and do that, you've just got to have, I guess, the route to do it or the people interested, which our guys, correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, but our guys are interested in a couple of days event. They're not just interested in going to the racetrack, driving off, driving back.
Yeah.
Whereas you guys,
you will get a few interested in doing it, but it's sort of guys like yourself, Adam, it'll be hard for you to do it in yours.
Oh yeah.
Single day event. You know what I mean? Whereas
I think
it just attracts different cars.
Yeah, and
I think
what
we've learned the turnaround on this car, the new car is much easier, where suspension doesn't get changed, fuel system doesn't get changed, nothing gets pulled out of the car, because we've learned all of that with this one. But it means that if we need to drive on pump fuel, well, we can, and the ECU just takes care of that because we've got 3 sets of injectors in it. So over there, you guys are a bit more evolved than us with this, where everybody already drives on pump fuel. You get to, let's call it 1 pound of boost, and it switches over to methanol on the start line, and you can stage and you can go and you can drive off. And whereas we have an engine bay 18-litre methanol tank, which is all the fuel we carry in race trim. My other fuel tank actually.
And look, moving forward, I think we're always 5 to 10 years behind you guys. So drag and drive over there at the moment is massive. It's getting bigger here. Everybody's getting smarter. Everybody's building cars that are more suited to it. So, we are genuinely excited where it's going to be in 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Come from with Street Machine in this 10 years, and then I think I don't think it's a linear scale. I think it's going to get bigger quicker.
It's a hockey stick for sure. Like once what we've seen here is promoters that are hosting drag racing events that do decently. They're adding this to some of their classes. They're getting into contact with some people. I mean, like with what Sick did with Streetcar Bragging Rights and Streetcar Takeover. I mean, that was awesome to bring in all the attention. You are right. You are, I guess, probably not now, but for a long time, Drag Challenge was it. It was once a year, just like here.
Yeah.
Drag Week was once a year, and it was one event for 10 years. So like if you're looking at the linear path there now with you guys and the attention that this event will bring from Adam and Brandon Zito and like all the other top 10 that are running in the sevens and real deal street cars. Like, I think it's just going to bring so much more attention. You're on that hockey stick up. So it'll be fun to watch, man, for sure.
I think these guys will get to 250 next year. It'll sell out in 15 minutes again. And everybody in that, I reckon you'll find 4 of the top 10 will be running 6-second averages. That's just my feeling on where this event's going to go, how Drag and Drive's going to work here. I know we're still undecided. My boys down here at the shop want to go and do Drag Challenge again this year, Street Machines Drag Challenge. I'm kind of ready to sit out and have a break now, but they're going, let's try and win every Drag and Drive within a 12-month period of itself. But I know of probably 3 or 4 cars that are capable of going 6-second passes there. So there's going to be quite a bit of competition there this year. And that's why I guess we went out and we wanted to be the first in the country to run that 6-second average, which is more than just running one 6-second pass. And we put the average so deep in the sixes that people are chasing it for a while. So
look, I guess that's what we were excited about. And it's not, to turn up and say you're going to do it, but to turn up and do it is a whole new ballgame.
And do it,
So, and he made it look way easier than he should have. Like it was...
No, make it look easy. Bring everyone in. We want this to look.
It was like everybody on the live stream was like, that 60-foot looks slow.
He got 60 by.
And we had this discussion with.
That's what we mean. Like that comes back to the tuner,
Yeah, that car goes 108 in the 60. So there's no dramas going fast in the 60 in that car, right? But as we all know, track prep, whether it's on or off, is mostly in the 60-foot. So I guess we tune our own chassis, we build our own chassis and everything. So we tune our own ECU, we tune our own chassis. So we're tuning the whole vehicle. We don't have some remote on and do the electronic side of things. And then we're trying to do the mechanical side of things. So we can make everything work. Now, as we spoke to the boys and we said, look, we're going to be targeting 125, 126, 60 foots all week, because whether the track's just starting to go off or what's happening, at least we can be consistent, and that's the biggest thing. Yeah. And if we can go 650 with a 122 in the 60, why do we need to go 108s? Like, we're already succeeding in what we do.
Yeah.
So even at that,
like, you do see 6-second passes, and you're like, oh, that was sketchy. Like they're chasing it, they're after it. And Adam's thing come out, and it was like straight in the line, and the scoreboard comes up, and I think everybody sat there for a second and went, wow, that just happened.
Ali's our data logs, and for something like that, like we're launching it on 9-pounder boost. I've got anywhere between a 2 and 3 second ramp in it, depending on the track that we're at. We've got an RM block that we chase, and literally at 4.6 seconds into every run, we pull nearly 10-pounder boost out of that car. So you'll watch it come up. I think the most boost we ran in this event was 37 pound. And it goes 37 PSI, and it'll pull back down to about 28 pound in the back half of the track. Because at 28 pound, we're doing 219 mile an hour. Like, we're turning steel rods to 8,400 RPM. No, I'm going, we don't need to swing any harder than that. And it's not going to stay alive if we swing it harder than that.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing's for sure is I could spend another hour with you guys. I'd like to spend a weekend with you. Maybe we can figure something out on that next year, Eric. That would
absolutely.
Maybe we don't go to some events here and go over there. Maybe that's what we. I want to go to every one of them. That's my problem.
I reckon you guys should our live feed. I reckon that would be ace, having you guys host a live feed or something over here. That would be killer.
Oh, that'd be a ton of fun. Yeah, we'll figure out something.
Sponsors, we'll get you here. Yeah.
Well, I mean, or hell, we'll pay for it at this point. I think it'd be a lot of fun just to come over and hang out and see a bunch of neat stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's all new. And again, I think you guys are on having the limit of the ET. I think really sets you apart from just having the fun and hey, everybody, come on! We're all gonna have a good time. You know what I mean? Like it really puts them on. Yeah, I mean, so I think that's going to be a good time. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. I would love to see that work really well and other events do all of that, because I think we're in a point now with Drag and Drive, especially here in the U.S., to where we could have a fast car only event. We could have 150 cars that go 850s or quicker. You would have an 850 index class that would be 40 cars deep, and then you would have another 80 cars. I think you go.
We had over 100 cars below 999, so
yeah, I mean that's
definitely something that you can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's badass.
We're the little fish.
Yeah,
I see. We just had a comment from Blaine Stark.
He can come too. He can come.
So Blaine's a good friend from over in the States as well. Mate, 18 years old. That kid has got a huge future in this industry. Mm-hmm. Absolute gentleman. So get on, follow Blaine's story. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, Blaine will understand what I'm saying here, but stay locked in, mate.
That's awesome. Yeah, Blaine's one of my favorite folks in Drag and Drive for sure. All right. We got to put this thing down. I got to get in, get to bed. I got to leave here. I got to leave my house in 6 hours so I can get up to Heads Up Hustle. And I still have to shower, pack clothes, recap this show for Brian to edit with, and then get a little bit of sleep. So, guys,
so you're ready to go, huh?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, if it gets past midnight, I'm just
we're more than happy to take the hustle trip, and you can come and run the workship or build some stuff. Yeah.
That may be a fun trade a week and a half ago.
Hey, we've seen this guy trying to put circuits in pistons, Dully. I don't think you want him to run your shop.
No.
Don't.
And when they move PRI back to Florida, we'll come back, but it's also cold. Yeah.
All right. Adam, tell everybody where they can follow you, and then we'll get to you guys.
Look, jump on and you can follow everything on Street Machine's YouTube channel, just Street Machine TV, or MPW Performance and Race Fab. You can get on and follow us all on that.
Awesome. Dan, Billy?
Yeah, we're the same. So All Stars Drag and Drive on Facebook. There's going to be a website coming up soon. We're going to try and integrate everything in, but Dan's business is Fast Lane Industries. Obviously, you can jump on and follow that, or JOH Engineering.
Sweet. Well, guys, thank you so much for spending the time. You guys have a full day ahead of you. You got to get to work and do all that.
It's off lunch.
I'm glad we gave you guys a break from doing regular work stuff. You're welcome back anytime. Anytime you want to break news, you want to tell fun stories, just hit us up. Let us know.
Appreciate the support, eh?
Yep. All right, guys. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.
Thanks. See you guys.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.
See you, mate.
Dude, how cool is that?
Super cool. Like,
I mean, those dudes are in Australia, right? Like it's noon over there, 11:30.
Yeah, it's wild just to think about, some of the stuff they talk about and the struggles they have building cars, and really, I don't know. Hopefully, everybody realizes how easy it is here, but also like how much of a big deal that makes his 6-second passes over there too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be the only person to run a 6-second average and to just absolutely thump that dude, 670s, like come average, and run a 650 on the last day. It's insane, man. It's awesome to see. And like I said there, I think Australia is definitely on a hockey stick. Going from one event to now 7 or 8 during the year over there. I mean, I think we're going to see, as big as that country is, we could see stuff work, 3 days events at the same track are, seemingly working here in the States. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what goes on.
For sure.
Up next episode, again, I don't know if we're going to do a show on Saturday, a news episode, just simply because it's going to be tough. The track goes hot at 9 a.m., which is when we would start this. And that really makes it difficult with me announcing and things like that. And then I don't know what we'll be doing afterwards, except hauling ass back to Dragway 42 for the Big 3 racing party that night. So I don't know.
Listen,
We may not be able to plan for a show or a news episode this weekend.
Listen, you'll have plenty of content to put out. I think we'll be all right.
Well, and I'm sure during the weekend I'll be going live. If we have any downtime on the track, I went live a couple times last year, which was a good time, and been around talking to racers and things like that. So we've got plenty of stuff we can definitely do.
100%.
And then next week's show, episode 161, dude, Paul Sokolis from On All Cylinders podcast and Summit Racing. And then, of course, the Havlik boys, Brian and Jess Havlik, will be on talking about the Havlik's fastest street car shootout as the last opportunity for updates, really, outside of their page for the week leading up to that, which will be leaving the next Wednesday. So pretty awesome.
Yep.
All right. Send us out, man.
All right. Well, once again, appreciate all of our race car friends who are in here tonight, making comments, joining in the conversation. Thank you to our guests, Adam, Dan, Dolly, for being on here. Again, we're going to bed. They're going to work. So awesome for them to jump on. Appreciate that. And again, all of our sponsors, can't do it without these guys. If you need a discount code, if you need to use our affiliate link, or just get in contact with somebody, hit us up. Thank you to Summit Racing Equipment, D-Works, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, AFCO Racing Products, Performabuilt Transmissions, Car Chains 3D, Low Dollar Motorsports, Power Tube TV, and Racing Junk. Mike, have a safe trip, have a good time, and we will see all of you guys on next Wednesday night.
See you.